What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am so excited you are here. We're gonna learn together. This is the Tarver Academy Summer Professional Development. We're gonna learn. Learning's happening. It's going down today. We're about to get started. My name is Tyler. I run Tarver Academy. It's an online resource for teachers and students and educators, and it's a great community where people just get involved and learn and get better. And I throw resources to you guys, throw ideas around. It's just a lot of fun. Just a whole lot of fun, Tarver Academy. So if you need anything, I'm here. TarverAcademy.com has a ton of resources and things that you can go to check out. A little bit about me, just so you know, you don't think I'm just like, hey, here's a random YouTuber talking about, videos or whatever. My name's Tyler. I started out teaching high school math, and then I moved into a tech director / facilitator role. Then I was a principal of a school, 6th through 12th grade. 6th through 12th grade. Fun ages. That's good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Never any drama, 6th through 12th grade. No drama. And our school had waivers from the state, so we did a lot of online, we did a lot of blended, we did a lot of in-person learning, all the above. So we get to learn a lot, make some mistakes, do some stuff right, and try to learn from everything we did. Then after that, I went to central office, and I was director of curriculum instruction, and now I'm the dean of NLC College. And I'm so excited to be here, learning and growing with you guys. I'm also giving a little bit of time for people to jump in, get started, and we're about to go through some of the housekeeping stuff. We're gonna do a little check-in right now at the beginning, and then at the end of this video, at the end of this training, we're going to have a chance for you to get a certificate showing that you actually showed up and you did the learning, okay? I think that this training and the other trainings that you are gonna get the chance to be a part of this summer are gonna help you grow as an educator. And if you grow as an educator, all it does is help the students and the community that you live in. And so let's try our best to learn something, take something away from this that we can put in our repertoire and get better with. Okay, so the first thing I need you guys to do is I need us to check in, okay? And this check-in, what it does is it timestamps when you are here so that you might not need this later, but if your administrator or whoever comes back and they're like, how do I know you didn't just click to the end? This shows that you were here at the beginning. So you can scan the QR code that is on the screen if you have your cell phone. And on my phone with me, get your phone out. I'll use my wallet, Atlanta Braves wallet. Film that, you just hold your phone over that QR code that you see on the screen. You'll see something pop up at the top. Click that and it'll take you to where you can fill out that you were here. It's very short, very quick. I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to do that right now. Go ahead, scan the QR code, go to the website, check in, and when you do that, you will get an email. If you do not get an email immediately, this happened, I told you, I was a tech director for a long time, okay? I'd say a long time. I was a tech director long enough to know that if you don't get that email that you're filling out right now, it's because you typed your email address in wrong. That's exactly what happens. 19 times out of 19 and a half times, that's what happens. So go ahead and go to that. Remember, at the end of this session, there's gonna be another QR code that you're gonna scan that is going to give you the certification saying that you actually did the training. Both of these are time-stamped. So if your administrator or whoever's in charge of PD for your district wants to see that and be like, how do I know you did this? You've got your check-in email that is time-stamped by me, not by you. It's into a PDF or it's into that email. And then you will also have the timestamp on your certificate showing that you did this. Okay, so hopefully everybody is getting that done. Okay, giving you a little bit of time. If you have any trouble, just keep trying because I think it's pretty important to get that logged in. Now, while we're doing that, if you're finishing that up, or if you can hear me, what I would love for you to do is I would love for you to hit the red subscribe button. This is my YouTube channel, Tarver Academy. That's what I call it. It's kind of where I got this started. I had this before I had the website, and then I put up the website to put all the resources and all the stuff I was doing. But if you would hit the red subscribe button right now, that would be huge. That would be just super cool of you. And that way, you can hopefully see some of the other trainings that I'm doing, see some videos I do throughout the year to help teachers, to help students, to have fun and learn together. So hit that red subscribe button. Did you do it? Did you? You get the like too, the little thumbs up. That's just YouTube etiquette. You get the thumbs up. It's just really nice to do. So you want to hit the thumbs up button, you can. And I would love to start this. How about this? in the chat, okay? Because if you're watching this on my website, which is where you can watch it, that's fine. You're not gonna see the chat, but if you click and watch this on YouTube, you're gonna see a chat rolling on the side of the screen. Start it off. I want you guys in the chat to say who you are, like give your name, tell us what you teach and where you teach, okay? If you're an administrator, you can say that I'm a principal, or you can say your central office, whatever you do. I've got some people that have signed up for this that are aspiring educators. So this is great to say, I wanna be an educator, I wanna be an English teacher for high school, throw that in there. If you wanna be a kindergarten teacher, toss that in there, say you're in school. It's a great way to network because I think there is an amazing community of educators here wanting to learn and grow together. And I think that it's great if we look out for each other. So throw in the chat, I want you to say your name, what you teach, and where you teach. Throw that in the chat. All right, man, we're doing good. We're doing good. It's our warm up. We're feeling good. We're stretching it out. It's always good to stretch before you stretch. I don't know, I heard some friends say that, so I say it from time to time. Okay, next thing. This is another little thing. I've got one right here. So I've written a couple books. I've done Superheroes Need Sleep Too. This is a children's book. It's like a nap time book, so you don't have to read that. But this one I think is super relevant for you. This is the Baller Teacher Playbook, and in it I have like practical advice. It's 18 chapters. So the idea is that you could do this like once a week with your team for a full semester or every other week for a year and try to improve your teaching every week. I'm not doing this to sell it to you. I'm doing this to say I'm giving some of these away all summer to people that are participating in this. So if you want a chance to win one of these, or I think I probably got some other educator books. If you're like, I don't really want your book, Tyler, I got a ton of educator books. I'll send them to you. All you got to do, follow me on Instagram at Tyler Tarver. Follow me at Tyler Tarver on Instagram, and I'm gonna be giving these out throughout the summer. You might be the person I give it to. So follow me on Instagram, and then throw something in your Instagram story if you want, just to increase your chances of me seeing it. So I'm just gonna be clicking through. I see people follow on Instagram. I'm gonna throw out stuff to them. So random people will get it. You might not, but you won't if you don't. So there we go. Y'all feeling good? Does everybody feel good? Everybody throw in the chat who they are, where they teach, what they teach. Okay, so to explain also what this is, you are watching, this is a live broadcast. So this is going as a YouTube premiere or a full-on live video. So one of the two. Either way, that chat is happening live. Everybody that jumps into this video at any point is gonna be watching it at the same time as you. So it's great to get in the chat and talk, discuss, ask questions, give input. If we ask a question in the video, you can type it in your notes, but you can also type it in the chat. You can copy paste from the chat. It's a great way for you to be a part of this live broadcast, okay? So if you have a Google Notes, if you have a notes document, if you wanna take notes by hand, I've got a template for notes if you want. It sent it to you whenever you filled out your email. It should have been on that page whenever you did your check-in at the beginning. If not, it's on like every PD page. I have my website, tarveracademy.com. Click on PD and you get a free notes template, or you can take notes in your own doc. However you want to do it, take notes, write down stuff that's relevant to you, and copy paste stuff that people put in the chat. There's gonna be people in the chat that are way smarter than me. And so I'd love for you to copy paste that into the notes, and you can take that and make your teaching game elevate. So next thing, while we're getting logged in, people are still jumping in here. They're still jumping in the video, giving you a few minutes to do that. We're also, if you want to watch these videos, because after this ends, it's going to be gone off of here. However, I'm going to be putting all of these trainings, all like 30 something trainings. I think it's over like 120 hours worth of trainings. I'm putting all of that for people that join what I call the Tarver Academy Honor Roll. It's a small group of educators who are trying to get better every week, and I send out weekly emails during the school year to where you're getting templates, you're getting resources, back to school starter kits, you're getting templates for Google Forms, trainings, PDs, tons of stuff every single week delivered to your inbox, and also you have access to all of these trainings. That is available if you go to tarveracademy.com/honor roll if you want to. I think it's a great decision. I think it's a great decision. Nobody's in here. Who am I talking to? I'm not talking to anybody. Okay, y'all feel good? Y'all ready to start? Y'all feel good? This is a little warm up. We'll explain what's going on. Everybody feel good? 1 to 10. Put in the chat how you feel today. Or give me this, how about this? Give me an emoji of how you're feeling today. That'd be better, 1 to 10, or give me an emoji. I'd love to see it. Or just give me a word. You're like, I don't want to do an emoji. Give me a word. How you feeling today? And let's get rolling. Remember, input in the chat, take notes, learn, grow. Welcome to the best professional development that you're gonna do. Not guaranteed, but it's an opinion, but it's also true, but it might be biased, but it's gonna be a great summer. It's gonna be a great training. Hope you guys learn something. Hope this adds you value that you can then bring to your students and make your school, your community, yourself better in some way. Guys, we're about to get started. Y'all excited? Y'all ready? We're about to do this. Let's get ready to learn and have fun. Tarver Academy. Let's go. Let's go. Hit it. Hit it. Let's go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Google Forms. It's an intermediate level skill we're going to work on. I know I've done a lot of stuff with beginners, getting started, jumping into the pool, if you will. We're swimming around in the shallow end. And now we're gonna hold our breath and we're gonna dive down deep into the deep end. We're gonna see if we can touch the bottom, swim right back up. That analogy went on longer than I thought it would, but here we are. So the thing I want to talk to you about first, before we get into some resources and like a deeper dive into some of the stuff you can do with Google Forms, I wanted to really lean into what is it that we could do built in to Google Form. Like say you've started doing quizzes or tests. We're going to do that toward auto grades. And then we want to look at how do we give feedback. So the two things we're going to talk about in this part of the session is how do we set up an exam? And then how do we give automated feedback based on, how our students do? And so those are two things. I'll repeat it one more time. You ready? Starting with quizzes, how to make it auto grade. I know a lot of you guys have done that probably. That's fine. We're going to talk about it with multiple choice. We're going to do checkbox, and we're also going to talk about it with short answer. And then we're going to use a few of those questions that we create, and we're going to give automated feedback for our students. The more you're not being lazy. When you have stuff auto grade or automate, you're not being lazy, you're being efficient, okay? You're still getting a report of who missed what question, what they put, what did they put wrong. You're still getting all these reports, and you're going to be able to go back and follow up individually on these. Working on my dissertation, there's a research study I looked at where they found that if a student watches a video to learn versus listening to you talk in a Zoom call, there's the same amount of learning taking place, whether it's pre-recorded and they're watching it on their own or they're watching it with you. The significant increase in learning happens when that educator follows up individually with those students. So the most important thing you're doing is save your time here so you can follow up individually with students to see what they need help with, see where they're struggling, to see what gaps you need to bridge in their learning. So let's start it off. We're going to start it off with this blank form, and we are going to make it into a 3-question quiz, a 3-hour tour. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and title it. Always title your forms. That's just good practice, really. So let's go ahead and title it. We'll just call this, presidential history. Say you're studying presidential history. Remember, up here where it says untitled form, you could just click there after you give it a header, and it's going to fill it in with whatever it is. You can always edit if you need to, but those two are linked whenever because Google wants you to name your forms. They don't want you to search and not know where it is. Okay. So in some of the other trainings I've done, I've gone through the different types of questions. What I want to talk about right now is how do we get it to auto grade? So I'll say this, we'll start easy. Who was the first president of the United States? There we go. We're so close. Okay. So I'm going to give it say it's multiple choice. There's only one correct answer. We'll say, Tommy Jefferson. We'll say, throw Benjamin Franklin in. Really want to know who's not paying attention to your history class. Benjamin Franklin. Grab the guy that's not even, wasn't even a president. We'll say John Madison. John Madison. That's what I think of every time. And George G-Dub. George Washington. Okay? Okay. You really want to mess with your students when you do a multiple choice test, add other to it. That really messes with their brains. They're just like, it could be any of these, or it could not even be on here. They're tricking us. That's how you really find out if they know, what they're talking about. So what we want to do is we want to go in and we want to turn this into a quiz. Unless you've taken something you've done as a quiz and then you've duplicated it to make it into like a template that you just edit or adjust, I would highly recommend that you make sure that you actually have it turned on as a quiz, which I say highly recommend 5 more times. I highly recommend that once you build out a quiz or a test or a review, just duplicate that. Don't start from scratch. I started from scratch here because I want to show you, but in the future, don't start from scratch. Once you build a template you like, just use that template. Okay. Just roll with that. So I'm going to go up here to my settings in the upper right-hand corner, a little gear. I'm going to click on the gear and I want to go over to the right where it says quizzes. Now, again, I feel pretty comfortable with Google Forms. I still go through all of these every time. I'm not going to do that because that's what I covered in the other one. But if it's a quiz, I probably don't want to submit another link. But I'm going to go here to quizzes. Okay. We're going to turn this on and we're going to make this a quiz. Default is that it is not a quiz. Now, when you do that, I'm not signed into I am signed into my organizational one, but you're going to have an option here with your school that says only allow responses from people in your domain. I always have that turned on. And if you ever have a student, if you have that turned on and a student's like, I don't have access, it says I don't have access, they're requesting access, it means they're not logged into their school account every single time. Okay. So giving you the heads up on that. Okay. So we made it a quiz. Do we want them to get their grades immediately, or do we want to review everything? If you have like essays or, maybe some crazy like longer short answer stuff that you want to check over and grade, then you probably need to do after a manual review, but you could always just do immediately if you feel good. Like say it's mostly multiple choice. This one's probably going to be the option you pick most of the time. And these, you got to think through, like, are you worried about your students, screenshotting these answers and saving them for the kids next year, or the kids in like the class period, or if they have a friend that took the test late? Is that something that you want to have turned on? I would say you leave them on because that way they can see what they missed, but then you just got to be aware if they screenshot it and send it on to, their friends that are in the grade below them. Okay. All right. So we have our quiz turned on, and what that changes is this right here. Do you see where it says answer key? I can click on that and I can change how many points this question is worth. I can go up or down, whatever I want. Now there's a way to change the settings on this. I don't know. Let me see. There's a way to change your default point setting. I think it's right here. Preferences. So I clicked on the 3 dots. Looks like a CrossFit snowman. Go down to preferences. You can choose like what the default is, that it collects their emails. You can make all the questions required as the default. And then you can set your default point value. Let's make them 10 points each. Okay. So that'll be my default in the future whenever I do it, because I selected it for my account. So there we go. We had that tip. I didn't know I was going to do that, but here we are. Okay. So now I went to answer key. I selected how many points I want this worth. And now I need to select the correct answer. So we're going to say it's George Washington because it's the correct answer. Now let's say it was the thing. It was like, who were 2 of the first 3 presidents? You can do multiple correct answers. Keep this in mind. It is a multiple choice test, so they can only select one answer. Don't be like, click the 2 presidents and then make that a multiple choice. That needs to be a checkbox. Checkbox, you can select multiple answers if you're the student. Here, I'm only selecting one. Whenever I select multiple correct answers, I'm saying either of these will work, not that you have to select both of them. So if that doesn't make sense, let us know in the chat and we'll fix it. Okay. So we're just going to say George Washington is the correct answer. Now, let's say I want to add answer feedback. Okay. This is, we're going to do this. You know what? Let's stick to this. I'm going to show you a few of these and then we will roll into the feedback. Okay. We're not going to jump into that yet. Okay. There we go. Correct answer. Bam. Hit done. That locks it in. So it shows me this green, you'll see that green check mark. That means that is a correct answer. Okay, so I can start from scratch on my next question, or I can just duplicate this. So let's duplicate it. select, let's do a checkbox one. Select everyone. It's like each name that was a president of the United States. Be clear, because they could be president of the Rotary Club. All right. We need to turn this. If I want them to select multiple, I need to turn it into checkboxes. Okay. So I'm going to click checkboxes. Now, that means it's going to be a box. See where this is a circle? These are now boxes. Okay. Now I want to add some more. I'm going to add Alexander Hamilton. I want to add, let's add, Abe Lincoln. Now I cannot say Lincoln without thinking of Matthew McConaughey rolling around in his Lincoln doing this. Now you know the thing about, and that's not a very good. What's a good Matthew McConaughey? All right now, all right. I'm not very good at. What's your favorite Matthew McConaughey quote? Did you read his book, Green Light? It was pretty good. I was pretty impressed. Probably shouldn't read it though. I think he cusses in it, so don't read it. Okay, so here we go. So what we need to do is we want to go in and select our answers because George Washington is not the only answer anymore. Okay, we want to go to answer key and we want to select multiple choices. So everybody that was president, so Jefferson, Madison, and Lincoln. Okay, and then there we go. So these are all the correct answers. So I'm going to hit done. Okay, so now it's showing me the correct answers. Then let's do another one. Let's do one more, and we're going to do a short answer. And I'm going to say, do I know the first vice president was the first? Oh, my goodness. In the chat, tell me the first vice president of the United States. Did Washington have a vice president? Would it have been John Madden? Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to Google this. Let's do this. Sorry. Who was let's see if y'all are right. President. John Adams. I'm saying John Madison. Was John Madison? Oh, my goodness. I'm thinking Billy Madison. John Madison. Okay, good. Whew. For a second, I was scared, because right now, all these John's names are running together in my head. I'm so sorry. John Adams. That's the one I was thinking of. John Adams. So, okay, let's do this. Who was the first vice president of the United States? That's not how you spell the, Tyler. Okay, short answer, and we want this to be auto grade. You can do that with short answer as well. So we're going to go to answer key. Okay, and what we're going to do is we are going to add the correct answer. So we're going to say John Adams. Okay, now here's what you can do. You can select multiple correct answers. So let's say that I'm okay with them just saying Adams, Vice President Adams. Johnny Adams. What else is a correct answer? I don't know. John feels like, there's 18 presidents named John. So let's say, what is the most common? Isn't William the most common president name? In the chat, let me know. What is the most common president name of the United States? Presidents. I think it's William. I'm pretty sure it's William. All except Mr. Adams. We'll say that too. John Adams. Well, just in case there's a kid that's really funny. He's like, John Adams. I can make that a correct answer as well, just if a kid just really goes for it. Okay. Now, here's what you need to do. I want these to all be my options for correct answers. I want to mark all other answers incorrect. Okay. So now what I've done is we have done a multiple choice that auto grade. We've done a checkbox that auto graded, and now we've done a short answer that auto graded. Okay. So let's go in and let's show you how to add feedback. Okay. So let's go hit answer key. And now I want to go to add answer feedback. So what it's going to do is I have the option to add feedback based on if they got it correct or incorrect. So all of my correct answers, they're going to get one response. And all of my incorrect answers, they're going to get another response. You can't split it up by well, if they pick Thomas Jefferson, I want them to know, it's all the incorrect answers, all the correct answers. Okay. So let's say they got it correct. I want to say, congrats. You so smart. And then we could even add a video or a link. So let's add a video. You are smart. Okay. I don't know what this is. Okay. Let's just say this was something I've seen before that just says they're really smart. So I'm going to select. Now, if they get it correct, they will now see it say, congrats, you're so smart for this question. Because remember, we're giving itemized feedback. Congrats, you were so smart, you so smart, and you have this video. Now I want to do an incorrect answer. So some ideas for this. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll explain what they got wrong. So like, I could say, if it's math, hey, make sure that you plug it back into the problem. Or, you could even give them further instructions like, hey, watch, or say this, read this article and write, 200 words on, George Washington. I need to say cite. Read this cite and write 200 words on George Washington in your own words. So it's like I'm giving them more assignments based on them getting it wrong. So I'm going to hit this and let's go to, I need to find a link. So let's go George Washington facts. Facts. It's a thing. Do people still say that? Key facts about George Washington. I'm going to take this link and then I'm going to toss it right here. Link to that. I'm going to paste. And then this is text. Like if I want to, I can add text to display. So I can say, facts about GW. Okay. Hit save. So incorrect, correct. This is what they'll see if they get it correct. And I'm able to see feedback for correct answers. Congrats, you're so smart. Feedback for incorrect answers, this, and then it has a link to it. So I'm at done. Okay. Same thing here. You can do the same thing for checkboxes. You can do the same thing for, what is this? Short answer. Okay. So you have your options. All right. Let's go in and see what it looks like for the student. So we can do this. So, oh man, I'm signed into that account. I didn't mean to sign in. That was the ish. That's why I couldn't see that. I'm going to share it with my other account. So I'm going to hit add collabs, add collaborators. Remember, when you're adding collaborators, I'm not sharing this with students. I'm sharing this with another teacher. So let's do that. Him, that's me. Him is me. Okay. So I want to go in and take this test. Let's go to Classroom and we'll assign it. We're going to go in. Why'd you log me out, Google? In the chat, while we're going to Classroom, what LMS do you use? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like it? That's what I would love to know. If you're using Google Classroom, well, this is pretty helpful because that's exactly what exactly what we're going to be showing you how to assign this in. But in whatever LMS you're using, learning management system you're using, you should be able to do this. Okay, it's just easier in Google Classroom. So we're going to hit create. What am I? Okay, I'm in History Magic. Hit create. We're going to create an assignment. We are going to, remember, when you do a Google form that is worth a certain amount of points and you import it in here, now they've done it to where it's all connected and it'll go straight into your grade book. So we're going to go look at that as well. So title, we're going to call this, President Test. And then I say fill this out and submit. Okay. I want to go to add, and I'm going to go into my Google Drive. Now it's going to pull, like default is, it pulls your recent from your Google Drive because they know us teachers. They know that we just got done making the assignment we're about to do. Why isn't it? Oh, it's because I did it. I did it in the other one. Let me see if it's in my drive. Let me make sure it's in my drive. Sorry. Shared with me. Because it's still in my shared with me folder. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. So we are good. So let's find this little guy. Oh, Tyler, where you at? Classroom. Okay, we want to just search. what was it? Presidential history. Most of the time it'll pop up right there in your recents. If you've been working along with me, then you notice that. So I'm gonna click this, I'm gonna hit insert. Remember, it's not going to give them access to edit it, it's going to show it. Now this is where you do grade importing. Y'all see this? Grade importing. We want to automatically go straight into our grade book. That's what we want. That's what we want, okay? And I'm gonna title this topic. We're gonna call it, tests. And then make a due date. We'll say it's due May the 14th. And then we're going to go in, make it with 100 points, and we're going to assign it. Now we're going to jump over into another student's side to see what it looks like when we get these right. Okay. So we're going to switch over to, let me see who is enrolled in this class. Hermione, Draco, Harry, and Ron. Ron Weasley. We'll go in as Harry. Man. Signing in. While we're signing in the chat, who's your favorite person from Harry Potter if you've ever seen it? If you haven't, why? Why would you do that? Hold on. See if we got a recovery tech email from this. Oh, man. I have to go check. No recovery emails. Confirm. Okay, well, that worked. All right, so here we go. We're in History of Magic. Here's my classwork. Got it. Okay, so we're going to go in here to tests, and I'm going to click this, and I'm going to take this test. Okay, so we want to see, I should have done it for, hold on, let me do something real quick. I don't know if it's going to change it now that I've done it, but I want to show them incorrect answer as well. Answer feedback. Correct answers. I want them to watch this video. Presidents. Okay. All right. Hit save. I'm going to say congrats. And we're going to say incorrect. Not going to do that. Okay. I don't know if it's going to work on that, but we'll see because I imported over. So I don't know if it takes a snapshot of the form or it keeps the form live. We will find out. Okay. Oh, I hit done. Let's see if it's saved. Sorry, guys. Getting ahead of myself. That's okay. This is what a natural workflow looks like in case you've never worked out loud with others. Okay, good. So it's in there. Hit done. All right. I was just worried I didn't save it. That's why I went back. Okay, so let's go and take our presidential history test. It's automatically pulling my email account because I've got that setting on. And then I'm going to go to, if not, it's going to be hard to grade these tests because it's just going to give them this. I didn't even ask for their name. So I would honestly ask for their name. This is not like a normal test. This is a quick test to show you this. Who's the first president of the United States? Let's get this one wrong. Select the name. Select each name that was a president of the United States. So Jeffy, Maddie, Washi, and Lincoln. And this one will just say John Adams, if I get it exactly right. That'd be impressive. Okay. Hit submit. Okay. Submit assignment is marked as done. We're going to open the assignment. So what it does, it automatically marks that assignment is done now that I've submitted it, which is a great feature. Am I logged in as a teacher? I want to be a student. Okay. Well, make me a student. Student. I want to be Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Switched over my account. So bam, going back. That's the problem. He's signing all these, which if you've come to my Google workshop that I'm doing, then you will see how to not have it switch access, which I'm not doing because I'm showing it from this one account. All right. And Harry's got classwork. Got it. Presidential test. I want to see my results, bro. Well, okay. I guess it's signed in as me. Let's try it again. First president. I want to get it wrong. I want to do this and get it right. And then this one, lost my fun for that. Hit submit. Why is it? It keeps switching me over to that account. I wanted to show y'all what it looked like. It keeps switching back to my other account as a default. Lame-o. Let me I'm going to switch because I do want to show y'all what that looks like. So we are going to. Okay, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this. I guess I need to log out of this. If it's not going to work, we're going to go. I'll show you. There's the process. Hit this. You can't see it. I'm going to go to those three dots and I'm going to go to what's called incognito window. And now I am going to sign in there as the correct person. So Harry Potter, TarverAcademy.com. One of my favorite students, by the way, TarverAcademy.com, the fake school. You'll sign up for the honor roll? No? Okay. Just wasting time. I'm gonna go in here. You can't see my screen. It's okay. If you're like, where's your screen? I'm not showing you yet because I'm trying to make sure it works before I go to the trouble of doing this. I'm taking the test one more time. Don't worry. Blah, blah, blah. Hit submit. Okay. It's not. What in the world? Okay. Oh, I know what's wrong. Y'all, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. I got to return it. So I've got to go in to grade it as me, as the teacher. Well, y'all probably been shouting this in the chat and I just didn't see it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. So here's the problem. I want to go into the form as me, the instructor. Okay. I need to go in. I probably submitted this 3 or 4 times now. Surprised it let me do that. Yep, it did. Okay. Here are my insights. I can see all this as the instructor. Here we go. Those are all some really good insights, real good insights. Times that I've done this, I can go into each question and I can select it by question. And then I can go in and check everybody's. So I can say, correct or not correct. So I'm going to mark that as correct. Edits pending. I can pick. This is like one of the cool things that Google is really amped up on is for you to go in and hit the X or the check. So I can give them a 0. I can do the check, give them a 10 automatically, or I can change and make it exactly what I want. Stay. So I'm going to save. Go into this next one. See, this is a really cool way to get through this. That goes by question, but you can also grade it by individual. So you can go through and read, which I don't know what type of crazy person would want to grade it based on this. So what we need to do is we want to send it back to them. So I'm going to go back to Classroom. And I'm going to go to the teacher account. And I'm going to send the assignment back. Okay. So we're going to roll into tests. Okay. Click on this. Click up here. And then now I want to return. Well, it's before my due date. So let's see if I can return him. So I'm going to click on Harry. It's not automatically grading him. So I'm going to hit return. I can add a comment if I want, don't want to. Now I want to go in as Harry and see what it is. Harry Potter. All right. So we're going to go in as Harry. Sorry, we're off to a very, I won't switch in and out of accounts as frequently from here on out. I promise. Plus, we're going to do a lot of resource stuff because I want to get you guys some stuff you can actually use and run with. I don't know why I made that face. Sorry. Let's go look at our president test. Oh, hit view assignment. Got it. Okay. Okay. Where is it? Man, I've really messed some stuff up with the dates. I think that's added. It's graded. So I want to send it back as a teacher. Sorry if you know exactly what I did wrong. I want to return it. I thought I had it set on automatically see after. Oh, it might be because, yep, I think that I messed up because I created it accidentally in my like personal Gmail account. So I need to switch that over. I need to change it here. I think that's where I messed up. Sorry about that, you guys. This is what happens. Okay. I want to quizzes immediately save. Okay. So let's do this one more time. That's something important. Like I talked at the beginning, you always need to check through your settings because you could do what I just did and then be signed into the wrong account. Okay. So let's try it again. We're going to go here. I'm going to switch over to Hermione. Fun fact, when I used to read the books, it was before the movies came out. And it was before the fourth book when they spell it out. But I used to call her Hermione. So in the first three books, when I would read and talk to my friends, I called her Hermione Granger. And it's not how you say it. And in the fourth book, it was before any of the movies came out. And you actually heard it. And you couldn't just like search YouTube because there wasn't anybody talking about it back then. And so what I would do, or in that movie, they, or in that book, she's pronouncing her name to, anybody know? In the chat, anybody know who she's pronouncing her name to? And then we all were like, oh, that's how you say it. Give you a few seconds, I'll tell you the answer. If somebody gets it right, you win a yacht. Okay? And the answer is Victor Crumb. Good job, guys. Look at us. We're learning something today. Okay. It's it. I should be able to see it now. Okay. So right now I can go to view score so I can check it. This is the difference. So you saw the difference whenever you didn't release them immediately. Now we see it when we do. So I'm going to hit view score. And this is what I see as the student. Okay. So here we was supposed to give us a link. I don't know why I didn't give us a link because I thought we put that in there, but we'll check on that and see what it did wrong. So there's supposed to be this, read this cite and write 200 words on George Washington, 200 words. So I was supposed to have a link in there. Don't know why it didn't work. This right here is the video. So I can see this, watch the video. There you go. You can read whatever I wrote, feedback, plus they watch their video. A lot of times what I'll do on this part is I will give them, like, if they miss a problem, I'll go in and find the YouTube video or a video of somebody explaining that exact problem or that exact thing, or I'll go create a video, make it unlisted so that people can't just like find it on the internet, but I'm making an unlisted video where I'm directly addressing how to do that problem. And then I tell them they have to take notes on it and submit it to me. Okay. So everything looks good. We didn't see the link here for this one. So let's go in and see what is up. What is up with that? Okay. What's up with that? Remember that from Saturday Night Live? Okay. So I'm going to go in as the instructor. Let's see why this didn't have it. Answer key. We want to go to feedback. Okay. So the link didn't take. Oh, I didn't hit add. Ha! Sorry, guys. So let's just say it's GeorgeWashington.com. GW. Okay, I need to hit add. That would give me the link. Okay, so that's where I messed up. Sorry about that, guys. If you notice that before you get 10 points, hit save. Now, if I'd have done it correct, I would see that link. So you can send them to a link to something you've published, something they've published, something you found on the internet. They can watch it, they can read it, they can do whatever you want them to do based on getting the answer correct or incorrect. So there we go. There we go. In the beginning session, we talked about branching. So that's where you go to a different place based on certain answers, which I think is a really cool advanced feature. And it's something that all of us should be doing as we go to different pages and we can skip. And it's a way to differentiate. But I'm going to show you that later in one of the other sessions. We're talking about differentiation. So good job. I hope you guys got the chance to kind of dip our toes in the intermediate training and learn a little bit. So we're going to take a little quick break, and then we're going to jump back into some more Google Forms. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. What up? Hey guys, Tyler here, Tarver Academy. What's up, Tyler Tarver? How you doing? How you living? In the chat, tell me one piece of advice you have for teachers. What's one thing you've learned as a teacher or one piece of advice you learned as a student when you had teachers? I would love for you to tell me that in the chat, and let's all learn something from each other as we go. We're about to take a break right now. I'm gonna show some videos. I'm gonna let you kind of learn and say you don't have to go take a break, say you wanna sit at your desk. I'm not just gonna sit here in silence. We're not gonna play some Barry Manilow. That's not how Barry Manilow, what can I do? How about this, the greatest song ever made, Donna Lewis, I Love You Always Forever. I love you always forever, near and far, closer together. Y'all remember, in the chat, what is the greatest song ever made? And that's actually the answer. Donna Lewis, I Love You Always Forever. Second best song ever made, Backstreet Boys, Everybody, yeah. And third best song is obviously, Chumbawamba's Tub Thumping. I don't know, I'm sorry. Tell me your top #1 favorite song in the chat if you haven't gone to take a break. I'm about to stop talking and I'm going to let you learn something or start a discussion or just hear some thoughts. If you leave for this part, that's okay. But if you stay, you're hopefully gonna get some value out of it. And then we'll jump right back in to the PD. Here we go. Yo, what's up? How are you doing? Are you good? Are you good? Do you ever get like a spreadsheet in Google Sheets and it gets a little beefy and you're like, that's a beefy. Sorry, side note. Do you guys remember from Homestar Runner when he does Trogdor or Strongman did Trogdor? And he's like, oh, this is a big beefy arm. One second. I'm sorry. This has become the most important thing on this TikTok. Trogdor with the beefy arm. You remember? But I digress. So let's talk about Google Sheets. Sometimes there just becomes too much on there and you need to consolidate things. You don't need to delete it, but consolidate. The inspiration for this was somebody asked me a question about my daily student attendance tracker that I made for you guys. Link in my bio. And I should have zoomed in. Link in my bio. And it's super easy to do and I want to show you how to do it. So let's say you have links to all these free PD sessions I'm doing this summer for you guys. Link in my bio for that too. All you got to do is you click on like a column or a row and then you scroll down, hold the shift button and hit select. That'll highlight all those. Then you just click on the gray part, hit hide rows. Boop, they disappear. Do you ever want to be one of those cool kids who put a little GIF in their email? I'm going to show you how to do it super easy. You don't have to download nothing onto your computer. Why do I keep zooming? Ear. I don't know what that was. So go ahead and start your email and then you just got like the little cursor blinking somewhere in the email. Then you want to go and you want to search the Googles for whatever GIF you want. I always just type in like whatever it is I'm trying to reflect and then, not GIFs. GIF. That was an accident. Okay. Then you just want to click on images. And it's going to bring up all these GIFs. Here's a good one. Look at that one. You want to click on it. Look at that GIF. Moving video. You feel like it's a GIF, not a GIF. Okay. First off, it's everybody has an opinion, but also you're wrong. And you're like, oh, the person who invented it says it's GIF. Why am I talking about this? They're wrong too. Okay. So you want to take this. You want to click on it and drag it up to the tab. Hold. Bring it down. And then you drop. Drop. And guess what? That's in your email. Look at that GIF. Look at that GIF. Yo, what's up, gamers? Look at that. It's Kevin. That's Kevin. Okay, so I want to give you my thoughts on the best app you can use with regards to like writing. If you have an iPad, you got a pencil, this is what I would use. This little chicken nugget right here is called Notability. Notability. So you can zoom in, you can do a little writing. Oh, that's not how you write, it's an eraser. You can do your writing, you can take your notes. The cool thing though is you can do this, okay? You can do this. You can change the style afterwards. So I can go in and change the colors. I can make it look different. I can change the sizing of it. Look at that. Wow, look at that little guy. Look at that little guy. Okay, that's what I got. That's my recommendation for you. And if you don't think I'm right, you don't know anything. I'm just kidding. You're great. What do you use? Do you know the easiest way to save a file in a specific location in your drive? Because you know your drive don't look the way you want it to look. I'm going to tell you how to sort it real quick whenever you first get it. Why am I getting so close? I don't know, but here we are. I'm so sorry. Let me turn the camera around. So somebody sends you something like, okay, cool. I need to sort this. I need to organize it. Don't go in your drive. Don't go in. Do it directly from this page. And there's a couple ways to do it. I'll show you the way I like to sort it. So you go up here right next to where the title is, and then you want to click on this little chicken nugget right here. You want to move it into a folder. Click that. You can choose the folder. You can be like, okay, I want this to go beep, 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 boop. Just find some beep, beep, the best of. I don't know what that is. Okay, we're gonna put it in there. We can create a folder from there. Put a folder within a folder. Beep, blah, blue. You can hit that check mark. I don't know why I'm talking. This should be multiple files, but here we are. Okay, reap-a-doo. Boom, it's moved in there. There you go. You're done. And that's what we call organization. I sincerely apologize for everything that entire thing, all of it. Sorry. I love you. Yo, do you or your students ever get overwhelmed with having to read an entire website? There's a pretty sick extension that you should, why do I do slow zoom? There's a sick extension you should check out. Let's look at it. What is this? What is this? I'm sorry. So what you can do is you can take a website like KARK.com. By the way, this is not sponsored by KARK.com, just so you know. So after you add the extension, it sticks to Google Chrome, and you go up and you hit that little, it looks like kind of like a Spotify icon. You click on that little chicken nugget and you have some options, okay? So you can go in, you convert it to podcast. I'm gonna click convert to podcast. Bloop.
Least heard of
Now look at that. It starts going, you can change, okay. Chill, he's talking too fast. You can speed it up if you need to. You can change it from male or female. Bloop. Ladies are always nicer to hear talk. You can straight download it and make it a podcast. Hence the podcastle. That makes sense. You can share it with your class. You have tons of little options right here. Again, it's called Podcaster, but think of the options for your students, for them to not have to read, but you just go click on the email, drag it over to the right, drop it, and now you have a to-do list with email attached to it. You can just go in, you can click on it, boop, brings up that email. That's 10 points to Gryffindor! What up? Hey guys, hope you're doing well. That was excellent. Wow, thank you for staying with us. That's gonna be the longest segment we do today. And this next segment, I'm really excited because one of my friends, Sarah Kiefer, she is a teacher extraordinaire. She works with teachers in her district. She is just an amazing educator, and she's a Google certified innovator, certified trainer, and she has a ton of resources that you can use. I'm just really excited that she's presenting. Here's the really cool thing. This is what I love. Like, this is the only time I've ever seen someone do this, and she is presenting using a Google form. Her actual presentation is built into a Google form, and she's gonna show you a ton of features with it, but also teach you some things about it, and you're gonna have access to all of this stuff. Check the links, go to her website, get whatever you need, and also if you could, please go to her social media and just tell her thank you, tell her you're watching the session, tag her, and just give her some social media high fives for joining us today and being willing to share her expertise, her knowledge. Here's a fun fact. So we actually were innovators at Google. So we don't work, that's something that sound like we worked at Google. We both got into the Google Certified Innovator Program, and we were actually what's called Affinity Buddy, which means we were partnered up and we helped work with each other on our projects, give ideas, throw out stuff, because they had us like at these tables where we worked with these groups, but then every now and then they'd be, okay, go work with your Infinity Buddy. They didn't talk like that. And they said, go work with your Infinity Buddy. And Sarah and I were partnered up, and we would go over there and we would talk through. She'd talk about what she was working on, I talked about what I was working on, and we would try to throw some stuff off each other and see if we could help. So let's again say thank you to her and pay attention because she has a really cool presentation. Sarah, take it away. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Sarah Kiefer, and I am a Google Certified Innovator, trainer, and level 1 and level 2 educator. And I love all things Google. And I am super pumped that I get to talk to you about Google Forms. Probably my very, very first love was Google Forms. This is where a big chunk of my all in to Google happened, was with Google Forms, because as a 7th and 8th grade social studies teacher, I saw about 150 kids every day, and the grading was bogging me down. And Scantron is nice, but I talked to the lady that was doing technology in my building, and I said, I'd heard about this thing. Like, can you talk to me about it? Can you share it with me? And she showed me Google Forms, and I jumped off the deep end, and I've been swimming in Google ever since. So I saw the power of it. But what I want to share with you today is Google Forms that you can do, because like I say, with pretty much every single Google application, they have like a basis. They have a starting point. They have a place that they're truly probably intended to be. And with Google Forms, it truly is intended to be a survey tool. Well, I'm a teacher and I'm not really interested in surveying my students all the time, but I am interested in doing quick assessments, longer assessments, doing all kinds of wonderful things with my kids. And Google Forms fits a piece of that puzzle for me. So obviously, I think we can all wrap our heads around pretty easily how Google Forms, you have a question and then they have answers. They could be just right answers. They could be a couple of different kinds of answers, but you get the idea behind how Google Forms can work in a classroom. But I'm going to show you a lot of things that Google Forms can do that maybe you didn't actually know that it could do, or will inspire you to do something more than give tests with Google Forms. So what I've got here is an actual Google form, and I have both the preview side of it, and then I have the editing side of it. So I'll jump back and forth so you can kind of see how it's actually built. But I'd like for you to focus on the preview side of it because this is the Google form. So don't just take Google Forms as a survey tool. However, I would like to start off with a survey question. What would you like to learn? And through this, it's a very interactive presentation through Google Forms. So please understand that these are not to be graded. Okay, I'm actually not even looking for a single person to submit this Google form. That's not the intention of it. And you might go, wait, Sarah, like that's kind of crazy. Yes, I know. I thought I was a little crazy when I found this out. But you could go through this one item at a time, or you could just randomly pick one of these and jump in. So being somewhat of a linear person, I'm going to say, well, what is a form, right? You asked me a question, what do you want to learn? I want to learn what is a form. So I select that as my answer and I move next. And here you go. Got a little bit of a background for you. Can forms be used as an assessment tool? You see the little asterisks. You have to answer this question. That's what the little asterisks mean, that question is required to have an answer. And again, read through these. And then, so it's a little bit of an experience with this, but then it says to you, what would you like to do now? Well, hey, I want to go back. I want to learn something else. Or you say, I'm done. Take you to the end and you're out. But I'd like to go back. And this is where I say it's a very interactive piece. Oh, I didn't answer the question. Why, yes, of course. So see, it wouldn't even let me, the creator, come on. Oh, see, now look at this. I'm not even answering my own question correctly. I've got this little note down here. It says, try again, maybe reread the text above the question. Not a trick, just an example of how you can constrain the answers in a Google form. Type in the right answer now. Delete it, type in the wrong answer. So let's do yes. You see how it goes away? I added an exclamation point. It didn't like that. You can be really, really picky about that. Okay, so that's important to know. There are a lot of things that you want to make sure that the kids get exactly correct. Language arts teachers out there, am I right? Capitalization, punctuation, you want it to be exact. Google Forms can help you do that. Loops me right back to the beginning. My previous answer is already selected. I could go down and pick any one of these, right? So let's start off with making a form. It's easy enough, right? Now that we know what one is, let's make one, or at least learn how to make one. There's two ways. Hey, look at this. I embedded a video. How nice is that? You could pull in YouTube videos. If you have a video library somewhere for your curricular, your content, or your textbook comes with it, or you make your own video, you can embed that. The kids can watch it. It's pretty fantastic. And then I've got some text. It breaks it out, gives you some chunks to be able to read. And again, down here at the bottom, what would you like to do? Are you done? Would you like to go back? Let's go back. So here again, we could walk through this. Honest and truly, I think it's a lot more fun if you just jump in and you go through it, because you might go off on a little tangent and go, man, yeah. Or you want to open up a new window and you want to do this in the form as you walk through this. A big question that I get from a lot of teachers is about audio. And this is one where I need to update this presentation a little bit, because I'm going to go ahead and say, is audio an option in forms? And I'm going to go next, and it's going to tell you kind of, right? You can record yourself and put in links. But what I'm also going to say is I just found out literally within the last week, okay, I just found out about this really awesome extension called Moat. to where you can do this a little bit easier. So I'll have to update this and come back, but check out Mote, M-O-T-E, and it does look like it has a nicer way of integrating and putting in audio in Google Forms. So let's go back to the table of contents. Using images is an important one. Let's take a guess. Do we think we can use images? We've already seen a video. So my guess is, yep, absolutely. And look how big that is. Really draws your attention to this. Yes, you can. And here's a step-by-step. It shows you exactly how to do that. Now let's jump back into the editing side of Google Forms. So this is the exact same form, just this is where I've created all of it. And you can see for the most part, it is the same as what you were seeing on the first screen. But the toolbar, and I will say this in every other Google product, is the toolbars look pretty similar. Google Forms is kind of your one where it's the most different. Your toolbar is kind of small, but that's okay. That's okay. That doesn't mean that you don't have a great deal of power in here. You really do. But you have like a second toolbar over here. And when you click on the world's skinniest snowman over here, you have some tools. And then obviously when you click on some of these, you're going to have different options that come up as well. It's a lot of exploring, a lot of investigating, and really just kind of create here. The eyeball is your preview, so you can see what it actually looks like live. And then as you scroll through, this is probably the number one question I get with Google Forms set up in this way is how do you force, if they select this option, how do you force them to go to that spot? This is a multiple choice question. So when I click on this, you can see it brings up the editing piece to this particular question. And what I have done is I have used, getting down to the bottom, this after section 1, it says to continue to the next section where you could force it, but I want it to be a multiple choice based on the answer that is given. So again, it has to be a multiple choice type answer. And then it allows you to select, if they pick this answer, what section are they going to go to. Now, I did myself a favor when I named each of the other sections is I named them the same as the question title. So if you picked what is a form, you're going to go to the section called what is a form. It can get kind of tricky, so kind of keep things simple for your own brain if for no other reason. Probably, and that, again, that's maybe like a level 2 type Google form idea, but probably where a lot of teachers enjoy stepping into Google Forms is through your themes, and everything doesn't have to be the same color. It comes generically as something, but you can always change out your themes. You can pick and upload an image just like I did right here. I customized this. You can pick a different color. You can pick the background color. You can even pick different fonts that you want your Google form to show up as. Now, it's not wild and crazy, and you can't customize it to the hilt. But what I would say too is enjoy that, because you don't need to. Having the perfect shade of purple may be important to you, but in the scheme of things, this shade of purple works for me. Now, you're going to see that this form, and you can see by my scroll bar over here, that this is a very, very long form. That is something to think about when you're making these for students. They don't have to be these crazy, huge, long forms. We don't always have the time for that. So keeping that in mind, it may not be to your best interest to make something as long and as detailed as what I have here, unless you're creating it as an explore type Google form, which is completely different than an assessment. And that's the thing that I'd really like you to tuck in your head, is that Google Forms can be used for assessments, but it can be used for a great many other things. So you have to keep that in mind when you are doing your creating. Now, what I will wrap this all up with is back at the table of contents. At the very bottom, I always like to tuck in resources. And Google is fantastic about creating resources and sharing resources, but so are a lot of other people. So what I've done is I've given you this link. You can go out to it, and it's going to use one of my favorite tools, which is Google Slides as well. So it will allow you to go in and grab the resources. Just have to go to that last slide. Oh, there it is. So Google Forms Help Center from Google, their training center. I do write a blog. I try to push it out about once a week. Google Forms is an excellent tool to use, and I share out the adventures that I have through using Google and all of the technology that I do. And then I have a Wakelet collection because I'm a big Wakelet user, as well as these two down here. The Google Forms Template Gallery is a great place to help you get inspired and start out with Google Forms, as well as we have a few Google Forms and their activities on a website that I co-created called Templates for Teachers. Most of them are geared towards student use, but there are some, especially the Google Forms ones, that are geared towards teacher use. So make sure that you check out that one, and please do connect. I am on Twitter at KieferSJ, as well as on Wakelet at KieferSJ. You can find all of my connections on my blog, techyoucando.com. Reach out. If you have questions, you're always even welcome to email me, Sarah at techyoucando.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. Hey, it's Tyler here. I'm just gonna give you a little break. So if you need to go do something, you need to go use the restroom, get a snack, get something to eat, whatever, you can go do that. I was gonna chat with you about some stuff, give you some time to do that and check in, maybe say hi. If you want in the chat, let's do a little check-in. In the chat, how you feeling? Toss in your emoji of how you feeling right now. Let's do a little emoji checkup, if you will. So while you're doing that, I do want to give, you know what? I spent a lot of time writing this book, and I genuinely think this book is going to help you in your classroom. It's gonna inspire you more than anything. It's a read with me, and one of the things that I feel like I've never been the smartest dude in the room. I've never been, the most talented, but I'll say this, I was always been pretty approachable, I think. I've been approachable, and I think what this is, I've tried to be as relatable as possible. I'm talking about my experiences, things I've run into in the classroom, what I've learned as a teacher and as an administrator and as a student, what I learned. And so this is the Baller Teacher Playbook. If you're interested in checking this out, I recommend, of course I recommend, it's my book. It's not the best book on education, but I think it's good enough to help you in some way. It's got a lot of practical experience in it. I've got quotes. That's a do you boo-boo. I could have picked a better chapter. Here's one thing. I want to show you one thing that I did at the end of each chapter, because I know teachers. Okay, I put in practical application, I put in reflection, because we know reflection is important, even though we never have time to do it, but it's got spots for you to write that in, so this is something you can work on by yourself or with your team. But here's the part that I did, and this is legit just for teachers. I don't know if you can see that. I put in, at the end of each chapter, I have a section called TLDR. That's internet talk for too long, didn't read. So what that means is, let's say you've got a team meeting, okay? Because there's 18 chapters in here. That means you and your team, or you and your building, you can go through a chapter once a week. You meet on your planning period, spend 10 minutes talking about what you did, what you tried, what worked, what didn't work, stuff to help improve your class and improve your students. Every week you can do that. Have you ever done this? In the chat, be honest, you ready? Have you ever had a team meeting where you're supposed to read something and you're walking over to the meeting and you're like, oh no, I forgot to read the thing I was supposed to read that we're gonna discuss for like 15 minutes. So you just try to chill and hopefully don't get called on or get called out for not reading it. At the end of each chapter, I have a section called TLDR where in 2 to 5 bullet points, I summarize the chapter. So you could be walking to the meeting, you could read these 3 or 4 bullet points and be able to have a conversation about the entire chapter. There's stories in here, there's practical experience, there's ways that I messed up, ways that I failed, and then ways that I feel like I succeeded, and I'm just talking through what I learned from both of those. And I would love for you to learn and grow with me. So if you want to check out that book, it's on Amazon. I'll have a link on the screen if you want to get it. Link is in my bio. I link links everywhere to it. So Baller Teacher Playbook. I think it can help you in your classroom. Okay, we're about to get started. Kick back into it. Hopefully you're ready to roll, ready to go. And let's jump back in. Let's jump back in like Michael Phelps, okay? Well, does that work? Does that work? I mean, he jumps into the pool. That's what I was going for. I need to know more like high diver. High divers would have been better. I'll tell you this, we're gonna stick the landing like Carrie Strug. Y'all remember her? Carrie Strug, remember the Olympics? Georgia Olympics? Atlanta Olympics? Remember that? It's okay. It's a very narrow reference. All right, let's get started. Let's kick it off. Let's jump back in. Get your notes out. Get your screens pulled up. Get your coffee ready. Get your ice water, your sweet tea. If you're from Arkansas like me, you know you like that sweet tea. And we're about to kick it off. Here we go. Let's get back in it. Let's get back in it. I'll see you guys. Hello again. So with this next part, I'm wanting you to actually take a resource. Ideally, you go in, you have this set up on your computer, you go in and create the resource, you duplicate it, you go to where I'm showing you to get it, you duplicate it and you make it, adjust it for you. So when you walk out of this next session, you're gonna have something tangible you can use and go ahead and put it in Google Classroom, put it wherever you need to. If you don't have a Google Classroom set up for next year, set one up. Make it like a Google Classroom course called, Summer Resources. And then you can create it and put it in topics in there. Remember, when you post it, don't post it as classwork, post it as a material, okay? Then you can go in and you can pull that material wherever you need to. I think it's a great way to sort this. That's just my opinion. You do what you want. I'm not your boss. But this next resource, I think it's super helpful and I think it can add you value. And also just documentation is super important and it's gonna come in handy. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start talking again about the resource. Let's do it. Hello. How's it going? Tyler here, and I wanted to do a resource creation walkthrough. The whole thought process, I'm gonna walk you through what I think as I do it and then show you how I do it to make it the most efficient, easiest, but also the best version possible. So I'm gonna throw that at you guys, and in the chat, in the comments, if you think of anything, add to it. I would love to hear that. Please take it in your notes. When I say chat comments, that means chat comments, notes, put it anywhere that you're going to remember it or it's going to add you value or add someone else value. And that's kind of the template we think through whenever we make resources. So the resource I want to make today is a pretty simple one, but I think it's very important. If you're in any level of education, you know that creating documentation is extremely, extremely important, whether you're talking to your Department of Education or you're talking to your principal, parents, students, all of it. Having documentation, you won't use 99% of it, but having it could save you just hours, days, weeks of frustration or misunderstanding with any group. So this one, I've done this before. We're talking about making a parent contact form, a way for anytime you call a parent or talk to parents, whether you're a principal or a teacher or even central office facilitators as well. Whenever you contact them, you need to record when you make contact. When I was a principal, I had one of these. And every time I called a parent, because a lot of times when the student gets in trouble, when you contact those parents, they're not always answering the phone number. They change phone numbers all the time. You leave messages. And then whenever you finally talk to them and it's like been, 2 or 3 weeks or even months, and you're trying to recap all this stuff, they're like, well, why didn't you tell me sooner? Why didn't you tell me? But if I could have known long time ago, I'd fix it. And I'll be like, well, actually, I did tell you a long time ago, or I tried to. I called the number that was given to me in our system. I called it multiple times. I asked your child what the number was. They gave me this number, whether it was a real number or not, and I worked through it. So I had one of those as a principal, and every time I call, I would just input it in there. And I try to keep it as simple as possible. And that's what I want to do as well, because anytime you say document something, what a lot of times I hear and other people hear is you just added more work for me. And so I want to make it as simple as possible. I'm going to walk you through the entire process from my perspective of creating it. So remember, as you're making this, you want to make it as simple and efficient as possible, but also detailed enough to be worth doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Drive. And I never want to start from scratch when I use resources. Let me make myself smaller, make the screen bigger. Whoop, there I am. Look at that. Okay. So let's make this, let's pull this over here a little bit. Look at this. Oh my goodness, incredible. Not what I wanted, but here we are. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I want to find something that is similar, and then I'm going to duplicate it. I do not ever recommend starting from scratch if you have something that's even close to similar. So I actually have a folder on this. I'm going to go to my resources. I'd recommend creating a Google Drive folder where you can stay organized. This is resources. We're going to do forms, and let's find out which form is the most similar. Classroom discipline. We've got a classroom walkthrough. That might be a good one. Positive action. I think that probably the most applicable might be a classroom discipline form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my form. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go to make a copy. Okay. Now, again, never start from scratch. Save yourself time as you do these resources. Here's the one I made the copy of. I'm going to choose it. Okay, let me switch my share screen real quick. Okay, switching over. Oh, my bad. Share this screen. We're going to actually share an application. We're going to share this. This way it's better. Okay, there we go. Now I've got my whole thing that you can see. All right. Cool. Okay, so from here, now I've made this copy. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the name. That's important. That way you can find it later. So we'll call this parent contact form. You might think of a better name. If you think of a better name, put it in the description. Parent. I'm going to just copy paste. I like to copy paste because it makes it easier. Teacher like step-by-step walkthrough. I'm going to delete this because it doesn't apply. Actually, I can probably do it. I need to fill that in later because I'm making this video and people can use it as a walkthrough. And then I've got a couple things that I do there that people are interested because this is a template. People can change it and adjust it. I've already got my heading up here for it. I like that because it shows that it's mine. I've done some stuff to yeah, I'm making this bigger. By the way, if you didn't know, the quick way to make your stuff on your screen bigger or smaller is if you're on a Mac, it's Command plus, Command minus. If you're on a Chromebook or a PC, it's Control plus, Control minus, and it'll enlarge and shrink the stuff on your screen. So just a fun little fact, little chicken nugget. So here's what we got. I would go in, I would select student name. If I'm you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually have like a drop-down menu of those student names. And there's tons of shortcuts. You can just, if you have a spreadsheet of student names, you can select the top one, hold shift, select the bottom one, copy, and then paste them in, and you'll have drop-down options. So student name that we're contacting about. Now I want to duplicate. I'm going to say parent or guardian name. And then I'm trying to think, do I need to know what grade? Probably not. So I'm going to delete that one. Date of the incident, or I would say date of call, which actually you could do this. Okay. So you could say like date of contact is an option here. I'll leave that on here in case anybody needs it. But if I were you, honestly, as long as you get in the mindset that you're going to fill this out immediately as you're calling, you're going to put in the contact. You don't have to add a date or time because anytime you submit something, it does a timestamp. And so you could use the timestamp as the time when you contacted. Like as soon as I'm contacting, bam, hit submit. And then I have this one. I don't need class periods. I'm going to delete that. Teacher name, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. Sorry, I had to do that. Contracted. Behavior. I would honestly say this I could keep, and I would say reason for call. Okay. And then you can choose the reason you're calling them. Check all that apply. These are mostly discipline issues. You could add in some positive ones, and I have a positive action template if you ever need it. Just tarveracademy.com/resources. Now I have other. That's going to be important. So I can have this list of discipline issues, which is usually why you call. Shouldn't be the only reason you should call for positive stuff. But I'm thinking through, I would love to have this stuff in here. And this is for your records and why you're doing it. So click this. I'm going to add other. That way I can always add in later if I need to. You can add positive behavior. So I have it here. Same thing. Positive behavior, reason for call. Let's do this. Let's do reason for call. call, positive behavior, and then I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to say reason for call, negative behavior. Negative. I spelled it right. Behavior. Okay, so we got that. We got negative behavior reason for call, and we got a positive behavior reason for call. Okay, now, and I have a longer list on my other form, my positive action form. I've got a longer list if you want to use that. Teacher intervention. I'm trying to think. Would you need this? No, because you're not documenting the discipline. You've already probably got a discipline for this. You're calling because you want to let them know, why they're being contacted. Okay, so there we go. So I've used the stuff that I've already got. So student name, parent name, date of contact. First thing I need to put in here, because they're going to ask, like, you didn't call me. Like, well, what number? And you could say phone number called. Okay. Now, I did not do parent contact for email whenever I was a principal because I had that email record. I could always search and find the emails after I sent them. If you wanted to convert this and have it do email and phone call, you could. But then again, if it's saving your email, you just got to figure out if it's worth your time to put it on the same spreadsheet. I used it for parent phone contact. Maybe I should change the name of this to parent phone contact. Phone number called. We could do this. Phone number called, and we'll do email address. Again, this might, if I'm doing this, I'm like adding a little bit more. You could always go in and delete these if you're like, no, I just want phone calls, delete them. Okay. But I'm thinking through like this would cover the most, especially if I'm making this resource for other teachers or people at a district. I'm making this for anybody, but if you're making it for people in your district, you want to give a little bit more options and let them know they can go in and delete those bugs. So email address, contacted. Okay. So we can do that. So we've got that. I'm going to make the phone number not required since we might do email. And now since I did that, I might even add this. How contacted? That's what we'll say. How contacted. And we can say, we'll do, I like multiple choice. And so we'll add phone, in person, or email. Okay. I don't know if there's another one. Hit add other just in case, because you never know. And remember, we're going to do this for each one of them. So each time we contact, I put multiple choice, which is the circle. See how they've got the circles? That means that I can only choose one of these. If I did check boxes, I could do phone and in person, but I'm not doing bulk. I'm doing momentary contact. That's the purpose of the form. If you want a different form that doesn't do that, you change that. Parent guardian name, student name, parent guardian name. This is what I would say. Okay, phone number called. I would even say phone number called, date of contact. I would say this, reason for contact. Okay. Reason for contact doesn't need to be date. It needs to be short answer. And if you have multiple, like, actually, you know what might be a good idea? Multiple choice. You can say truancy, discipline, positive. And then add other, so you can add in later. And you could always go in and add if you're thinking, like I know some of you guys in the chat, in your notes, go ahead and write down a couple other things you could contact them for that are not listed on there. Okay, that becomes common stuff that you're calling for, and then reason for contact. And then you can, I would add this, call back, or say, student requested. Those are some common ones. And then we have the discipline, and you can delete these positive and negative discipline stuff if you wanted to. That's up to you. And then I would say call notes. I need to say call/contact notes. Whenever I'm on the phone, like if I'm doing this, I'm literally filling out as I call. I look up the parent's number, I put in the information, I start putting in, I fill it out as I'm on the phone. It kind of gives me a place to do that, and I'm writing notes in this form. It's a place to consolidate those notes. Now, there's one other thing that I need to add that I forgot. What was it? Oh, I just thought of it a second ago. Here it is. This is what I added on mine that I think you should do as well. Phone number called, email address contacted, and then say this right after this. Add a new one and say response. Okay. I would say this under call response. Okay. So after you call, and I needed this, whether they answer or not, you need to document it. So I would say call response, and I would add that it is multiple choice. And I would say answered, left message, Unable to leave message. You always leave a message if you can. Answered, left message, unable to leave message, disconnected, etc. And then add other in there. Okay. So I think this is a pretty solid one. We can preview it to make sure, hit this little eyeball right here, and think through the process. As you're creating these resources, think through the process. Is there something I'm missing? Is there something I don't know? And remember, this does not have to be stagnant. This is not, you could use this 10 times and then realize I need to add a whole new category for blank, student present when I called, whatever it is, you can add those categories as well, okay? The most important thing to do though is the student name. That's most important. I'd even say more important than parent guardian name. Student name, how you contacted, whether they answered, and then the notes, okay? That's what I recommend. And I think you can do this. I think you can create documents like this. And you notice how I didn't start from scratch. If you're making these resources, don't start from scratch. If you're using these resources, know that you can modify them and adjust them as you go. So hope this helped. Hope this saves you some time, saves you frustration, saves you people you're contacting, your community frustration. And I hope it just makes us better. And that's our goal, is to make everything better. And the best way to do that is to make sure that we document and we modify and we adjust. Thank you guys. Y'all be good. Stay sweet. What up? Okay, so this next session, what I'm going to talk you through is how to actually set up a custom Google form header. And you think, well, that's unnecessary. That's a lot of extra work. I think that if you're willing to, I think once you make the template, you could just go in and adjust it, download it, and upload it with new instructions, or change it up based on whatever it is. Or it's a great indicator for you to know which Google form you're in, whether it's just for you, for students. You can adjust it, label it that way. I'll tell you one thing I really like is, and I talk about it in the video, I think this is fantastic to put your classroom procedures or mission statement, something to remind the students every day, kind of like your overall goal or mantra or whatever it is that you in your classroom want them to see multiple times frequently. So let's go in, let's get started, let's create a resource, let's build a skill to not only create a resource, but to where you can recreate the resource whenever you need. So go to a website, go to the page I tell you to, and create it as we go. Come out of this with something and then use it. Okay, here we go. Resource creation station, let's go. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler here, and I wanted to walk you through how to create your own Google form headers for your classes or for your resources, for your school, anything you're wanting to do. A great option for this, if you are doing it for like an entire district, you can create some really cool headers, and it would be a good way to brand your district across all of your classrooms. You can put it in as a template and then share it with your teachers, your students. Everybody can use that to, show that you're all part of the same organization. You can even put like procedures in your header for what you want students to do. If you're a teacher creating it, you could put the name of your class and then, hey, don't forget these procedures, bam, 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 or your values or pretty much anything. The possibilities are limitless. So right here, you can see this is one that I have. It's the same header I think I have for my YouTube channel. On YouTube, they call it your cover art, thumbnail art. Nope, cover art. Thumbnails are the videos. Cover art is what they call it on your YouTube page. But this is what we've got. So this is my header. And to insert that, all you would do, because traditionally they come like this. Like that looks like a traditional Google form. Bam, adds a little bit of spice to it. So to add that in there, all you got to do is you go to customize theme, and this is where you would upload that header. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I want to walk you through how to create a header for your Google Forms. Okay, so there's a couple different places. By the way, if you want this classroom discipline form, I have a copy if you want. Just go to this website right here, tarveracademy.com/resources. Sometimes I sing, but now I am done singing. So sorry. Okay, so sometimes I get off and I just let the music take over. So whenever you're creating these, you have a couple different options, a couple different places you can make it. I have one that I always recommend for anything design, graphic, anything like that, and it's Canva. Canva is by far my favorite. I used Adobe Spark for several years. It was great. I've done Photoshop. I've used Illustrator. I've used a ton of different options for creating graphic designs. Canva is by far the easiest. Now I'm not trying. Here's the difference. If I like my buddy Steven, he's an amazing graphic designer. He did the design for my book. See that cover right there? This little chicken nugget. cover for my book. He did that, and he is incredible, and he would frown upon me advising you to use anything but Adobe Illustrator. However, a lot of us don't have the time to become as fluent as him in creating with Illustrator. Canva is the easiest way to create something that looks good. You're going to get to like, if 100% is like something my buddy Steven could make, you're going to get to, 80 to 91% very easily for a lot less work. And so I use it because I keep creating stuff and I need to get stuff out quickly. So I recommend Canva. Go to bit.ly/Tarver Canva. Get you an account. They have a free account, they have education accounts, and then they have paid accounts. So pick whichever one is best for you. If you do the education account, it opens up more templates and resources that you can use. And then you go beyond that and do a paid account. I think it's like, I don't know, $100 a year, give or take $10, and you get even more. So the end. Okay, I don't work for Canva, but I do like to brag about stuff I think is useful and helpful and makes people's lives easier. So let's go in and we're going to create. So I'm going to go to canva.com. Loading up. Okay, now Google has like the best search, ever. You search Google, you can search Google Photos, all that. It's an amazing search. Canva search, if they had a browser, I might use it. It's incredible how good Canva search is. Okay, so here, the first thing you need to do, and whenever you're creating a resource, you're creating a template or a header, anything like that, you've got to think through, what are the dimensions I need? Because you can make I could go in here and I could be like, oh, I want to create this cool design, blah, blah, blah. It might not fit. It might not fit with the dimensions of what you're trying to create. So this is how I do it. And I've got the tab up here from when I did it earlier. I just type in, whatever it is I'm trying to make, Google Forms header dimensions. Hit enter, and then you look and find the dimensions. So we're looking for a 1600 by 400. You see this? 1600 by 400. That way you're creating what you need to create. So I'm going to keep that in mind. Now, here's the deal. Canva, they have a lot of really good ones. So I could search like Google Classroom headers. And I'm pretty sure they have templates that are exactly made for these dimensions. They do. See this? Bam. Check out that little chicken nugget. Now, here's the deal. I don't want those dimensions. I want different dimensions. They don't have a Google form header. I've already checked. Canva, you get on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Google Classroom header, and then I'm going to adjust the dimensions to make it what I want. So let's look through here. Oh, this one's pretty cool. So I'm going to pick, these are just like templates you can start from. You can start from scratch, or you can, go up here and create a blank one. I'm going to go to this one. I think it's pretty clean. I always like to start from something. So I'm going to click this, and it's going to essentially generate a copy of that I can edit. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to edit this. But the first thing I'm going to do, because I don't want to do all this work and then change the dimensions and then go back and forth. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to up here in the upper left. I'm going to go to resize. Okay, this is great. So let's say you make a graphic and it's a square and you want to put it on Instagram. Great. You make it, boom. And then you're like, you know what? I want to put this on as the thumbnail for the YouTube video. You can go to resize and it'll automatically adjust it. And then you can like make any changes you need to, and it'll adjust it for a YouTube thumbnail. And then you can go in and make it an Instagram story, and you can change it to that. Just hit resize. That's your go-to. All right. And I'm going to show you some options on that. So resize is right there in the upper left. This is cool. It's fine. We're going to do something with it. I'm going to go to resize. And then I'm going to go to, so a lot of times you can search and find like, common ones that you're doing. I want to go in and just put in this custom height. It's 1600 by, 400 by 400 pixels. Okay. Now here's where you have an option. Okay. I can either hit resize, which means it's going to take what I just created and it's going to change it to the correct size, or I can hit copy and resize. So let's say you make that Instagram graphic and then you want to make the YouTube thumbnail and you want to make an Instagram story out of it. You might want to keep that original Instagram one. So what you would do is you would hit copy and resize. This one, I'm just going off of this like one graphic that I've created. So I'm just going to hit resize and I'm going to change the size of this actual file that I'm still in. Okay. So we've changed it. This is the exact dimensions now of this that'll be shown. Okay. So if not, I would have to crop if I didn't have the right dimensions. So I'm going to change it. I can call this, Mr. Tarver's class. Okay. And so I'm just going to adjust these, kind of making that text pop out. I can do underneath it, I can do anything I want. I can put stuff. Look at that little robot. That's a friendly little robot. Okay, this little robot looks dangerous. I'm gonna get rid of him. So you can just click on anything you want and delete it. I like this one's little rubbery arm, so I'm gonna keep that little guy. This one looks like he's using the force. So it's like that little robot's using the force, and I like that. Okay, now we can change colors in here. So like, let's say I want to change this background color. All I do is I click on, let me move this. I'm gonna click right here. And then I can go up here to this color and change that. Change that background color. I can make it red. I can make it navy. I can choose any color that my heart desires. And then I could click this navy part. These are overlays. So I could go here. I can click this and I can change that navy. Oh, that's not what I want. There it is. Okay. Changing that blob. Going to make this change. Boom. See, look at those. Wow. This is so beautiful. I mean, I don't want to say I've improved it, but I mean, it kind of did, right? So I'm going to hover over it. Anytime you hover over an item, it's going to highlight the box. I'm not clicking anything. I'm just hovering over it with my cursor. I can change this, click on it. Now I have the option to change my font. So I can click this. I can go to, let's do Knockout. That's the cover my book font. I can choose this and I can change the font color. We can go navy. Bam, look at this. Okay, do I need this one? I'm leaving this because I want to do something with that. I want to show y'all later. Remember, I'm keeping in mind, this is for my class. And so I want to do stuff that I know they're going to see at the top of Google Form anytime they go in there. So those robots is chilling. I could, if I wanted, I'm going to show you one of the coolest features in Google Forms. Actually, let's do this first. So I want to show you, if I'm thinking through what do I want to do with a Google Form, what would be most beneficial for me as a teacher, and that's to have instructions, okay? So like, let's say that I was making a test. This is going to be the form for my tests. I could put procedures up here. That's really large. So I'm going to, sorry, my kid's yelling. So I could change this font size to that, okay? And then I could say step 1, make sure you're logged into your school email account. There we go. Now, right now I'm centered. Actually, no, I'm not. So there we go. Look at that. So I'm adding instructions. These are going to be able to be seen right here at the top of every Google form that students do. Like, yeah, you can do it to where it just looks cool and it's just like cool branding for it. But you could also put your values like, hey, we don't cheat. Make sure you're not cheating. And then you can include what that is, phoning a friend, Googling, etc. Okay. 3. By the way, did y'all see that Google Forms has added the feature where it gives you 30 days, you could save a Google form and come back and work on it later? That's huge for teachers. Because not, you had to like create a test that could be done in one class period because there was no extra time you could have. 3, we can say make sure you submit. Hit me up, HMU. Hit me up if you have any questions. Okay. Let's do this class. I call it Mr. Tarver's class, test procedures. Boom, I could change that title up. Look at this. And I could change these robots. If you wanted to, I could, let's see. Let's make this bigger, okay? So I have more room to play here, so let's make this a little bit bigger. And I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna click over here on this little edge, this upper right-hand corner, I'm just gonna drag. It's gonna automatically make that larger for me. You're logged into your school account, make sure you're not cheating, phoning a friend, Googling, etc. That overlay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna delete this little guy. He looks, let's delete the little guy. He looks dangerous, I don't need that. Okay, now I'm gonna show you one more thing and then we're gonna export this. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna go over here to uploads because I wanna insert a photo. So let's find a photo that I've created. I could have Martin Luther King Jr. He's cool, I like him. Do Beyonce. Let's do this. We could add me. I could add myself screaming. I guess that'd be weird to have my kids. So I'm going to add myself screaming. So I add this photo in here. Okay. I just click it and it adds it in. Now what I can do is this is just like one of the best features ever. You ready? I'm going to make it a little bit larger. My hair, I'm going to cut my hair off because it looks ratchet. Okay. Hey, I'm wearing the same. Look at that. Wow. It's a special day. Okay. So I've got the photo. Click on the photo and then in the upper left, go to edit. Now, there is a feature right here called Background Remover. Watch what happens when I click that. It is going to take the background out of my photo and just leave me as the photo. This is awesome. Apple has this. It's called like alpha something. I think is what they call it. But there we go. Now I could be in the photo. So if I can move the robot. I can make him move over here. I want to change him. Look, there we go. I'm a little robot. Look at that. These are my test procedures. I can put myself here. Look at that. You can insert yourself into there. How cool is that? If you have a classroom mascot or logo, or say you got like a pet iguana for your class, you can put that in there. But I've got me looking super frazzled. So that's the idea. That's what you could do for your tests. That's what you can do for your assignments, your homework assignments, give instructions, all of it. You could do it to brand your school, your classroom. You could have students make them, and you could alternate through the ones that your students made. Just a really fun little thing you could add in your classes. This would work for anything else you're creating. You could search the same thing in Canva and create through there. Same for Google Classroom headers. So that's what I got. I hope you enjoyed learning with us today. If you want, I have, links to everything that you would ever need and ever want. So that's all I got. I don't know why I said that, but y'all be good. Stay sweet. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Just kidding. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Y'all be good. I'll talk to y'all later. What up? Welcome back. Hey, Tyler here. How are you doing? How are you feeling? In the chat, let's do emoji check. And how are you feeling right now? Have you learned? Oh, no. To this point, what is something that you are going to try in your classroom or implement that you might not have wanted to, an hour or two ago? What is something you're wanting to implement in your classroom? Put that in the chat right now. I'd love to see it. I know the other people in the chat would love to see it. I know it'd be some great input. So throw that in the chat and then you can also copy paste and put in your notes just so you don't forget. Make sure everything you're doing, you're keeping notes of. Keep links to it, all of it, because I want you guys to be able to access and actually make your classroom better. I've sat through enough PDs in my life, professional development in my life, that I don't remember one thing from. I pray that you walk through this. I am hoping that you get something out of this training that you can take and use, once a day, once a week, once a year, once a decade, something that you use and implement, whether it's a mindset or a skill set or just any type of framework to build your classroom and make things better. Okay? Speaking of making things better, making ourselves better, I do want to give you, some thoughts on something that I offer, a community that we have at Tarver Academy that I think could add you a ton of value. It could help you get better all year. Because right now we're getting better with PD, with professional development. Hopefully you're getting better right now. This summer you're gonna hopefully glean some information, some knowledge, some experience, and you're gonna get a little bit better. I want us to get better all year. I want us to get better all throughout the year. And here's the thing with teachers. We do not have time to go sit through a 6-hour professional development once a week. So what I did was I created a community called Tarver Academy. And it was based on teachers telling me they wanted resources. They wanted a continuation of these trainings, of templates, of resources. They wanted to be handed to them, because if you go out and search for it, you're gonna find random stuff. They wanted stuff that could be applied to their classroom, that they can sit there, bite-sized professional development for busy teachers. That's Tarver Academy on a roll. And I would love for you to join if you want to. If you don't have to, don't pay for it. It's not very expensive at all, but I don't want you to have to pay for it. I would rather you use your district's professional development money. So if you want, have them go in, order that for you. What happens if you sign up for the Tarver Academy on a roll? What it's gonna do is it's gonna add you value. Do you wanna get better as a teacher every week, but not have to go out and search for it? How about if we just hand it to you in an email? In the email, every week, you're gonna get either a template a resource. You're gonna get a short PD video, professional development, a training to show you how to do something you might not know how to do, or reinforce you something you're maybe already trying. You're gonna get something that makes you better every week, plus some quick tips, links to some other things, and also you can ask me questions. I have a mailbag where you get to ask questions, and that's the list I'm gonna pick from first. I wanna help you guys. If I don't know how to do it, I'll do the research for you. I'll build, you're like, oh, I really wish I had a digital interactive notebook. Guess what I'll do? I'll go in and I'll build digital interactive notebooks and I'll give you the template. You don't have to pay teachers. You don't have to go in and throw the money at anything. I wanna just hand it to you. And I wanna do trainings for you to help you. So if you wanna join that community, I think it's super helpful, and it's essentially where I become the tech facilitator for you. It's Netflix for teacher resources, and I would love for you to join and jump on that. So if you want, go there. It's tarveracademy.com/honor-roll, and you can sign up for that. And I think it's just going to be a huge. It's going to be a huge help to teachers throughout the year who have a lot going on and not a lot of time, extra time to go out and do it. It's like as teachers, they always give you more stuff to do, but they don't give you like, oh, here's like an extra 3 hours a day to go out and do whatever it is you're going to do. So if you want to sign up for that, you can. I hope you've used this time also to use the restroom. So if you're just getting back using the restroom, guess what? We've just been talking about Tarver Academy Honor Roll. No big deal. But I want to give you guys time to go do that and get a snack if you need it. Whatever you need to do, we're about to kick back into it. We're about to jump back in it. We're going to fall back into the gap, fall into the gap. Man, do y'all remember that? That was a good campaign. That was memorable. Wasn't it? Memorable? Yeah, sure. Okay, so we're about to get started. We'll get started here very soon, and we're gonna jump back in. We're gonna keep learning. All right, let's do it. Let's go. We're still doing this. In the chat, here we go. In the chat, I want you to tell me the name. Okay, don't say that. I was gonna say, tell me the name of, you know what? You can do that. Tell me the name of a teacher who made an impact on you and what they did. Why did they have an impact on you? In the chat, what name of a teacher or an educator that had an impact on you and what they did to have an impact. It was either the way they treated you, the way they ran their class, or the way they inspired you, or just the way they had structure maybe. They were reliable, they were consistent. I would love to hear in the chat, name of a teacher that motivated you as a student or as another teacher and what they did. So let's throw that in the chat, and we're about to get started. We're gonna jump back into it. We're about to get started. We're gonna jump back into it like a pogo stick. See that? See what I did there? Nope? Okay, all right, let's get going. Man, so cool. Okay, so here is the next section, the next session we're gonna work on, the next skill we wanna build, and I'm gonna give you a resource with this to start from, like a template to start from, but ideally you're adapting that and creating it into something that is helpful for you in your classroom. We're gonna do like a little differentiation hack. I've already walked through how to differentiate and do, Dr. Alexander talked through branching, and then I expounded upon that, showed you how you can use that as a remedial resource, and that was in the beginner. If you're like, I don't remember that was in my beginner form session. If you missed it, I'm gonna do it a couple more times this summer, so tarveracademy.com/honor-roll if you want to join in on that, but or through wherever you're going to see these. So if you want to check that out, go for it. But this one is going to be like, this is like a hack. I figured this out when I was teaching college math, and it was kind of a game changer for allowing students to watch tutorials on how to do what it is they just missed. Instead of it being similar, it was exactly the same. So I'm gonna stop talking, and then I'm gonna start talking specifically about this little hack that I think could be helpful for you to use in your classroom. Here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler here again, and I wanted to show you today how to create, it can be an assignment, it can be a quiz, it can be a test. Well, I wouldn't do it for a test. Assignment, quiz, whatever you wanna do for your class, where based on the student answers, they can get a video tutorial walking them through that exact same question or whatever it is they're needing to learn. Okay. Now you can do this with your own videos. You can do it with videos you find on YouTube, etc. It's not like revolutionary to show a student a tutorial video afterwards, but the idea for this is that if they miss the question, they have to watch and take notes in the tutorial. If they don't miss it, they can move on. So it's allowing your students who understand it and are getting the answers correct to not waste time with something they already know. And it allows your students that are struggling with that particular portion of the problem to go in and get more help. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to do it. I've already got a Google form started here. And since I'm going to make this a template that you guys can have and anybody can have, I'm going to explain what it is. Let's say, this is say, it is going to have them watch a video explaining what they missed only if they miss the question. Okay. Now, I taught high school math, so I'm going to think through the math side of it. But if you teach anything besides math, this can be applied to that as well. Okay. So don't think this is just for you. Okay. We're going to incorporate some higher level Google Forms skills in this. So if you don't know how to do that, just pause, rewind if you can. If you're watching it live, then you can't. But you could. I've got video tutorials on all this, so I can walk you through it. All right, so I've got it started. All I've got so far is email address. So I need to go ahead and add a question. Let's do, I've got it to where it gathers a student's email address automatically. I recommend that on every Google form because that way you don't have to worry about them typing in like their regular Gmail. You have to, you automatically get their school account and you can restrict it to just people in your domain. If they're like, I don't have access, it means that they're signed into the wrong account. Okay, so let's get first name, this short answer, and then we're going to duplicate it. And I want both of those to be required. So this right here is on. So last name. And you can do, class period. If you have class periods, you can do class period. And then you could have multiple choice and then put in, how many class periods you have. But there you go. And then I always like to add in a fun question, something to get to know them. What's your favorite TV show right now? And then I can delete these, make this, or I can just make this a short answer. I always like to do this because one, they get a question. They get a question that they automatically know they got right, whether you give credit for it or not. But and then also I like to add in the description because you want to let them know a little bit about you. It say mine is WandaVision. I don't know. I don't know if vision's capitalized. Let's do it. Okay. All right. You know what? I am going to add there's one more thing I always add at the beginning, and I'd feel bad if I didn't tell you guys. Let's do one more question, and this is going to be a scale question. So I'm going to go to linear scale, and I'm going to say, how confident are you in what you're about to complete? I get the generic so that if I go in and make a copy of this form in the future and use it for different assignments, I'll just be swapping out videos and text and not this part. Okay, and we'll rank it 1 to 10 because 5 is not enough. No clue. And then 10 will be labeled I remember and know this 100%. Okay. So, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to hit up here and let's eyeball. I'm going to go to preview. And this can show me so far, this is all my quiz is. And this is what it'll look like. How confident are you about what you're about to complete? And that gives you a chance for the student to go in and be like, okay, well, I know this or feel comfortable with this, especially if it's a quiz. Highly recommend it for a quiz. Okay, let's go back to the form. Now, I don't want, you can't do it for what we're about to learn. You don't want it to be a long, like one long form. You want it to be different pages. They call them sections on here. I call them pages, which is probably wrong, but we need to create a new section. So what I'm going to do is this right here. You see this equal sign on the far right? That's going to add in a section. Okay. See, there's this break, and this is important. It's going to come in handy later. Okay. So see there it says continue to next section. This is where you're going to be able to skip sections based on certain things, which we're going to get to that. Okay. So I want to go in and I want to create, we'll do a 5-question test. And I'm trying to make this generic and not just like math, but I need to show you an example of what it would look like. And so we're going to go with it. So we'll do question 1. Okay. And then I'm going to add in the question. Now, here is, we'll just do this. We'll do 1. And then it's going to be, we're not going to ask the question yet. Okay, I'm trying to tell you the best way to do this. Okay, remember, think through what would work for your class and what works best for them. Okay, now, this is where I call it like a hack. This is where I call it like you're working through, is because you're working backwards. You're wanting to go in, and my end result is if they get it wrong, that they get a tutorial. Well, what I want to do so that tutorial is actually tailored to that exact question, I want to go find the tutorial video first. Okay. So what does that look like? Let me explain. It's going to make sense if I'm not being clear. So I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. You can go to your YouTube. You can go to anywhere you want. You can do this as you create the assignments. If you're creating your own videos, this is a fantastic little hack. Okay. So I'm going to pause that. So I'm going to search. By the way, if you don't know how to search within a specific YouTube channel, you just click this little magnifying glass. And let's say we're doing, let's do slope. Okay. I'm going to do slope. That's an example. We want to find, there we go. Here's the problem right here. How to find slope. So say I'm just doing like a traditional math quiz. So here's what I would do. Okay. So I am going here. Boom. Wow, that's a terrible look. There we go. That's a little better. That's still, why is my face like that? I'm so sorry.
Passes through 1, 3 and 4 negative.
Okay, there we go. All right, sorry, that face is bothering me. All right, that's the only face I got. So can't help it. Sorry. So here's the hack. Here's the trick. Okay, you ready? We want them to answer this question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the video and I'm going to pause it. And this could go, remember, any subject you want. I'm going to go in and I'm going to screenshot this question. So with a Mac, that's Command-Shift-3. With a Chromebook, I don't know what it is. We just Google whatever device you have and then say how to screenshot. So I'm going to screenshot that. Okay. Now what that does is that saves that picture. I'm going to go back over here. And what I want to do is I want to go over here to this. Do you see this little chicken nugget? I'm going to click on that. And then I am going to find that photo. I'm going to upload it from my desktop, which is where my screenshots go. And now I don't have to type that problem, which is another frustration for math teachers. I'm going to go in. There's the question. And now guess what? I can just go in here and I can find out whatever I got as the answer. Let's see. What is the slope of a line? Okay, so it looks like it was -2 over 1. So that's going to be -2. So I'm going to put that answer in, -2. Okay, now here's the deal. This is a fun thing for any multiple choice exam you make. It doesn't have to be just 4. 4 means they have 25% of guessing their way through it. So I'm going to do -2. I'm going to do 2. I'm going to do 1 over 2. I'm going to do -1 over 2. I'm going to do, -12. I'm going to do +12. I'm going to do 1. I'm going to do -1. I'm going to do everything that I can. I'm going to do 3, -3. Like you can do as many as you want. You can do 15 of these options. It keeps them from being able to guess their way through it. Okay. Now, I've got this, and I've got my answer in there, and I remember it's -2. Now, here's what I want to do next. I've created the question. I took the video, which is where they'll go if they miss it. I created the question from that video, okay? I put that in here, so they've got this question, the screenshot of this. Then I want to make another section where they'll go to if they get it wrong, okay? You ready? This is what that looks like. So I'm going to go and create a new one. I'm going to call this, what was this one? Question 1. This will be question 1 help. Question 1, let's not call it help. Let's call it reinforcement. Okay. Now I'm going to click add. I'm going to add this, and let's say, hold on. I want to change this to a video. So I'm going to click, see over here on the right, see that little play, add video? That's what I want to do. I was going to add a video. Okay. Now I'm going to go get the video that I just got that from. I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to go to URL. I'm going to paste. Bam. Now I'm inserting the exact video. Now I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, watch this video. Then I need them to show that they're like, oh, okay, this is what I should have done up here. I need to add a description. Okay. I need to add a description. I need to say, where is it? Description. Make sure you show your work on your paper. I will be checking for this. Okay. There you go. Here's what you're going to do. This is what I do on this side. I'll go for their assignment, for their question is watch, while watching the video, compare with your notes from the last question. Tell me, type below where you messed up. Okay. Now, this way, they're not only watching the previous video, but they're comprehending what they just did, and then they're going to be explaining it to you. It's just like you want them to go deeper and not just like, oh, I got it wrong. Because it's too often they get it wrong, they move on. We want them to analyze it and then go in and, and then figure out where they messed up so they don't make the same mistake later. Okay? So here's another thing I would add, and I've never done this on one of these, but I would do this as well. Because most students, if they have a Chromebook or a camera or whatever they've got that they're using as a device, as long as that is a camera, have them do this. I want to hit add question, and I want to go to file upload. Okay? I want to hit continue. This will allow them to take a picture of that equation. So I'm going to say, take a picture of your work from this problem. You could even add this in the other one, like where they're working out the equation if you wanted to. That's another option. Only allow specific types of files. We'll do, we want an image. So PDF, image. Let's not do PDF. Let's just do an image. That way they have to take a picture. Okay, there you go. So now here, okay, so we're going to go back to the other question. You ready? So what we did was we arranged it to where from the video, we took the question. That was the question they took up front before ever seeing the video. Then if they get the question right, they're going to skip this. If they get the question wrong, then they're going to have to watch this section right here, watch the exact video explaining the exact question, tell us what they got wrong, and then upload a picture of their notes. Okay? So they got a little bit more work to do if they get it wrong. Now, you could move this up into the other one to where you see their work from the problem. That actually isn't a bad idea, especially if you're doing it digitally. I think I might move this up. We're moving it up. Sorry, I think it's a better idea to move this up. Have every single student take a picture of their work from that problem and upload it. So I'm going to move it. I just click these three little dots. See those 6 dots? 3. I know how to count. Move it up. I'm going to move it up here. And I'm going to put it right here. Okay, so now it's on the same page as where they work. So every student has to upload the photo of their work. There you go. That's what I would do. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to do this. We need to have it reallocate. I say reallocate. It needs to send students. Okay, try to explain this best. This is where they answer the question. If they get it right, we want them to move on to the next question. If they get it wrong, we want them to go down to what we just created, which is that video where they have to tell us what they missed and why. Okay? Sound good? Now, what I need to do is I need to add one more section. I'm going to add a new section. And this is going to be question 2. We're not going to do question 2 because we got to go in and do what I just showed you. Question 2. Okay. So we're in here. We're on question 1. Now I need to tell it where to go based on what answer they put. Okay. So I'm here. I'm on all the answers. Remember, this one's the correct answer, which we're going to get to that. I want to go here. Oh, we need to do it to where it grades itself as well, don't we? Let me see. Let's go to settings, quizzes, and I'm going to turn this into a quiz. Immediately after each submission, we'll do later after manual review. We want to check over this and send it out whenever we want. So here we go. So I need to click on answer key, and I need to tell them which one is the correct answer. -2 is the correct answer, hopefully, if I got it right in the video. So there we go. We can add answer feedback. That's for another time. We're going to hit done. So I've got one correct answer. The check mark shows me it's correct. Now, this is where we have a differentiate based on whatever they put in there. So we're going to click these 3 dots. We're going to go to section based on answer. We can also do shuffle option, the order. That's a good idea because we don't want the first one to always be the correct one. I always put it in first so I don't forget to put the right answer in. But we don't want to always be the first one because the students will figure that out. They're like, just pick A every time. Go to section based on answer. This is where Google Forms makes the big money. Okay. Now, so we want this one, -2. We don't want it to continue the next section. We want it to skip this. Next section is question 1 reinforcement. We want to skip that if they get it correct. So we want to go to question 2. This is why it's very important to title these sections, okay? Question 2. Now, do you see why I waited until I created the next section and section 2 before I went back and told it where to go? It's because the sections didn't exist. I couldn't put them anywhere. So that one's going to go there. Everyone else continues to the next section. All these others that get it incorrect, they're going to go to reinforcement, okay? Now, once they get done with reinforcement, everybody moves on to question 2, which is the next section. And that's it. That's how you would do this example. I can go in. Let's see. Let's make, here's what we got. I'm going to make this to where it's a template for you guys to use. If you want it, go to tarveracademy.com/resources. If you want this, let me make this on screen. There we go. I'm going to go make this a template. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete my picture, and I'm going to get a video of like what it, afterwards. So I'm going to try to explain. Whenever I do these forms and I make it a template, I always try to explain. I've got a template on my website of this where it is like a math, and you can just swap out the math stuff. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and create at least 3 questions and make it to where it goes in and it says, hey, put this in here, do this in here. Those are the instructions. Okay, that's what I got. Thank you, guys. Hope this helped. Hope you learned something, and keep learning. Never stop learning is what some people say. That's what I say in my book. What's up? Follow Teacher Playbook. That's what's up. It's the last chapter. Spoiler alert. Y'all be good. Stay sweet. Never stop learning. Never stop learning. Yo-yo. Okay, so yo-yo, who says that? I mean, I guess people that play with yo-yos. Okay, so this next section, this is a resource walkthrough. I'm going to give you a resource. I want you to make a copy of it, edit it as we go. This is a positive discipline form. We've already done in the Google for beginners. We did an actual discipline form, but if you don't have that or you need that, tarveracademy.com/resources. If you want to see the walkthrough on that, find out when we go through the beginner one, and we'll go through that. And then this one though, specifically for positive actions, I'm gonna explain why it's important, and we're gonna learn how to set it up. You're gonna have that resource. Put it somewhere you can remember it. Okay, here we go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so excited to see you here. I hope you're having a great day thus far. Are you doing good? In the chat, put an emoji of how you feeling. How you feeling? And what is the one resource you wish you had? Like, if you were like, I need a template of that in Google Forms, what would it be? And I'll probably make it. I'll be honest. As long as I see this, I'll make it. If I see your comment, if not, you can email it. I've actually got a mailbag. If you're on the honor roll, you can just submit it and I'll create it, and then you'll get it, because that's how I do business. So honor roll, whatever. I can pitch that all day because I think it's a great resource for teachers, and it's a great way for you to just get it handed to you. There's a lot of websites that are great resources that you don't think to go to, but I'm going to toss it to you every week, and I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to give you some quick PDs, bite-sized PD for busy teachers. Okay, let's get into today's resource that I want to give you, or this session's resource. This one is the positive action form. Now, I've gone over the discipline form with you. Hopefully you've seen that. We went through, it's super important. You can incorporate this inside of discipline form. I like to do it as its own because you can be more, you can do more with it, but it's up to you. If you want to combine this with it, go for it. Okay. And you can import questions directly from other Google Forms, and I'll show you how to do that because I don't know if I've shown you yet. But I like to have this as its own form. So the 3 discipline forms that I like to give as a resource, as of right now, I'll make some more if you want them. So you've got your student discipline form. That's, your basic, this is what you did that you weren't supposed to be doing. This is how I broke the handbook, blah, blah, blah. You got your student reported discipline. It's where students get 3 questions. What were you doing? What should you have been doing? And what are you going to do to prevent this from happening in the future? Make students fill that out and send it. And the 3rd form that I'm showing you right now is the positive action form. I'm going to show you how to get it and how to set it up. You can actually set it up on your phone if you want to, or your iPad. Make it like a home screen app if you want to. I've got a video on that. If you need, just let me know. But let's get into it. So we're going to go. I've got it at tarveracademy.com/resources. I have that link up here. Tarver Academy. If you want to go there and get it right now, tarveracademy.com tarver.com/resources. And we're going to go there, tarveracademy.com. Do you ever get tired of saying Tarver Academy? I know I do. I'm just kidding. It's whatever. Okay, so we're going to go to resources. Click that. You don't have to go to any of the stuff underneath it. Just click on it. And we are going to scroll down. And we're going to go to, so I've got my classroom discipline form. I've got my student reported discipline. And I've got my positive student action form. Here's why I love the positive student action form. Very often, parents, they just get to see the times their kid messed up, the times their kid made some poor choices. It goes a very long way with parents whenever you show that you notice when their child does something well. Whether you send it out to them or you save it for a parent-teacher conference, or say they did get in trouble like 10 times in a row. I throw one of these in with it and be like, hey, I know they messed up 10 times, but there were 2 days they did incredible. And here are the days. I don't know what you did or what you fed them for breakfast, but do that every time. Remember, make a copy right here. It's going to be your copy. I do not have access to it. Okay. We're going to change it. We're going to call it, positive student action form. And I'll just call it, Mr. Tarver's class. Okay. Here's the deal with any of these forms. You want to make them as quick and as simple as possible. I don't like to type, especially if I'm like using like my iPad or my phone. I would rather just click, 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 submit. Okay. So here's what I do. Go into your spreadsheet and I'll show you how to do this. I think I showed you in the discipline form, but let me see if I've got it. Best event. Let's just see if this is, hopefully I don't bring up people's names. I did. All right. So let's just do this. We'll go to new. Create a Google Sheet. All right, let's say you've hopefully done this. I've got this resource if you need like a student information form to gather their information. I've got one if you need it, but here we go. Okay, so let's do Michael Jordan, both of them because they were both wizards. You get it? Because that's not Jordan. Because Harry Potter was a wizard and Michael Jordan was on the. It's just high level comedy. It's not a big deal. What is this? This mess. Okay. Let's do Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Ron Weasley. I've definitely got a type of person I like to put in here. We'll do one more. We got to include Hermione Granger. Okay. Now, you've got this list of all your students. Let's hopefully say you have every student you have. We're going to click on the top one. Okay, so I've clicked it and I've let go. I'm going to scroll down, or I'm going to go down to the bottom name. I'm going to hold Shift, S-H-I-F-T, Shift, and then I'm going to click on the bottom one. What that does is whenever you click something, hold Shift and click something else, it selects everything in between. I've now selected all these names and I've let go. Now I'm going to copy. So Command-C on a Mac, Control-C on anything else. I'm going back to my form. I'm going to click up here. For option 1, I've made this a drop down. I'm going to hit Command-V, which is paste. By the way, fun fact, did you know it's V? You think P is paste. That's print. V stands for view. You are viewing what you copied. So there you go. You've got all their names in. Now this will be a drop down for you. See, look, what's this? Now, when I'm going in and I'm trying to pick my students' names, bam. I would sort them alphabetically first, but that's on you. Okay, it's up to you. All right. So we've got the names. You can do which grade. You could probably delete the ones, like if you don't teach, like say you just teach kindergarten, cool, delete all of this. Delete this whole section. If you teach, high school kids, you can keep 9 through 12, whatever. Adjust that if you want. Date of the action. Sometimes we don't always fill it out right afterwards. If you are in a good habit of filling it out as soon as a student did something well, then what I would recommend is just delete this and use the timestamp, because every single time you hit submit, there's a timestamp. I, might think of it at the end of the day, or I might not think of it, whatever. You're going to do date of action. What class period did it occur? Teacher name. If there's multiple teachers on there, you could do this as like a team thing. Like if you have a team discipline form, you can have a team positive action form. And it's also good at the end of the year. Like you could sort by the student's name and find out which kid, like, hey, which kid made the biggest impact this year? Which had the most positive actions? Or you could break it down even more. Who was the leader the most? Oh, there were 10 times Johnny was the leader. Oh, who was the most helpful? That's 15 times Sally was helpful. Whatever it was, you can go in and give awards based on who got these the most. I did a checklist because sometimes students do more than one. I think this would be just really cool for parents to get, showing the things their students, their kids, your students are good at. So I did a checklist, and then if you want to describe it, you can. You'll notice how I kept all of the first ones like super easy to like click, click, click. And if you want on this one, if you're using your phone, you just hit the voice and talk into it, tell the situation, or you can type it in, whatever. So that's the gist of it. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the other discipline forms. We are going to hit send. We're going to get the link, copy. Then I'm going to go into Classroom. And I'm going to put it, well, actually, no, you're not going to do that. Do not put this on Classroom, because that means the students are going to fill out all the great things they did. What I would do is I would put this in a place that you can remember where it is. So I'm going to show you a couple ways to put it, okay? First one, you can put it on your phone. If you have an iPhone, what you can do is you go in and you open this link. Like I usually just take this link and I email it to myself. And I click on the link in my email. And then what it does, it's going to open it up in Safari. You have to be in Safari. And then once you're in Safari, let's see, I'm going to open up Safari. Okay, see if I can show you this from let me make this bigger. Okay, so I've got a website here. Y'all see that? Now what you want to do is you want to click on, see at the bottom? Come on. See that box with the arrow on it? I'm going to click that. Sorry, click that. And then I want to go to, where is it? Not add bookmark. I want to, come on, add to home screen. Whoop. You can title it. That one's my book page. You can title it, positive action, whatever. Hit add. Bam. It is now an app. Sorry, you can't see. It is now an app on your phone. And anytime you click it, there you go, Tyler. Click it, it'll go straight to that website or straight to that form. So that's one way to do it. The other way is you can actually take this link. See how I highlight? That's not it. Remember Highlights, the magazine? Does anybody remember that? It's like every dentist office ever. You can go in, you can go to preview. This works on any computer. You highlight the link, you click and drag that link to your desktop. What that's going to do is going to create a shortcut to go straight to that website. Remember, Google Forms, it's just a website. It's a link on the internet. So you can short link it on your phone, create it as a home screen button. You can put it on your desktop to where you can double click, and it opens it directly in there. You could also hit this little star. Do y'all see the star right here? Click that. You can't see it. It didn't pop up, but you can add the bookmark, and you can add it to your bookmark bar. Watch my bookmark bar. Bam. See that? Positive action form. It's right there. So I can always just click on it and it would open it up. There you go. Here's what I like to do. See how I've got a folder right here? You can right click. You can't see it, and you can create add folder. So right click up here on this bookmarks bar and click add folder. And then look, see, I've got a discipline folder right here. You're not going to be able to see the drop down, but if you do, and then you can click and drag, see this? I can drag that into that folder. I would have a discipline folder as like classroom discipline. You could have student reported discipline. You could have, positive action form. You could do, multiple of those. So, think through what, way you want to access it, but I would make it short. Don't make it to where you have to go search drive, hit preview. That's too much, guys. You'll never fill it out. Okay. Make it a shortcut, make it as easy as possible for you and your team. Okay. So there you go. Then, you obviously can go to responses, and you can click on this, and you'll create a spreadsheet to where you can see all your students' names, everybody you've submitted, sort by name, sort by date, sort by class, however you want. You can get reports. It's just a great way to actually notice the things that students are doing that we want to reward, not just the stuff that we want to, hold as a negative. So, and I'm a big proponent of that. So hope this helped. Hope you learned something. hope it assists in some way. Y'all be good, stay sweet, never stop learning. Here we did. Here we did. Here we did. That's not funny. That's not right. Okay, I'll see you guys. What up? Tyler again. Wow, how you guys feeling? Y'all good? You good? Are you good? Okay, in the chat, this is what I want you to do. In the chat right now, I want you to tell me what was your college major. And if you're still in college, you want to be a teacher, or you're just here to learn and grow, I want you to tell me in the chat, what was your major in college? Okay, tell me what was your major in college, and then what do you actually teach now? Are they related? You don't have to, just tell me where you went to college. I'd love to see, throw it in there. We're gonna say, if you see somebody that has the same one, reply to them, give them some knuckle bumps or high fives or thumbs up or peace signs, whatever it is, smiley face. That's my best emoji, smiley face, like that. Toss that in the chat, and let's just talk about where we went to college. And the reason I bring that up is I'm actually the dean of a college. It's called NLC College. It is a partnership with Arkansas Baptist College and New Life Church. It's where we use the New Life Church facilities, and students can come and get an actual degree, associate's or bachelor's degree in business administration or Christian education. They can get those degrees from Arkansas Baptist College, located at NLC, so we call it NLC College. So if you know any students that are interested in maybe attending, if you'd like to hear more about it, hit me up. I'm gonna leave the link on there to the website. Also, the Instagram handle gonna be on there if you wanna check it out. Follow us on Instagram at NLC College. But I can tell you about it, but I'd love for my students to tell you about it. So here are some thoughts about NLC College, which I love and I'm a part of. I'm a dean of NLC College, so of course I love it. I wouldn't be there. So if you want to check it out, let's see what they have to say. I'm gonna be low key, for real. These are some of the best students on the planet. These young people, they're straight up, they're world changers. I mean that. And I care a lot about them, and I think they're fantastic. And I'd love for you to hear from them about the school that they attend, NLC College.
I go to NLC College, and two things that I miss about it there are the people whom I miss and I love very much, and the intramural sports, specifically volleyball.
Okay, so if you don't know this, I go to NLC College, and my number one favorite thing about the school is the community. I've met some of my best friends there that I have for life, and my second favorite thing is serving at events with the school and putting on preview day.
What's up, guys? You know, something I love about NLC College is all the free coffee and coffee mugs that they give you.
Hey guys, I just finished my first year at NLC College, and there's two things that I really, really miss. One being just the family aspect of the school, and two, chapel. I miss worshiping with my friends.
What's up, everyone? I want to get on here real quick and tell you all about why my college, NLC College, is the best school ever for two reasons in particular. One, the community I've been able to be a part of, and two, the opportunities that have opened up for me since I've been going to school there.
Y'all, I just finished my first year at NLC College, and it was absolutely incredible. I already miss our weekly leadership development classes and just getting to be up at the church all day, every day.
Hello. I go to NLC College. I love it because JK, I do go to NLC College, but two things that I love about it is one, you're always held accountable, and two, everyone in the community pushes you to be the absolute best you can be.
What's up, New Life Church and NLC College? Something that I love about my college that I go to is how we have a community of people who are all like-minded with the same goal, and how they've given me the tools to grow and develop myself as well as my business. Shameless plug.
Guys, I just want to hop on here and talk about my school. I'm sad that it's my last year at NLC College, but I'm thankful for everything that I've learned, like how to live life right and by the Bible, and definitely I love Dr. Q's jokes.
What is up, guys? So if you didn't know, I just finished my first year at New Life Church College, and by far my favorite things about it are one, the community of people that you're surrounded by, and two, all the free time you get to do things you're passionate about and just to hang out with all of your best friends all the time.
So one thing that I love about New Life College is that it didn't slow me down from doing what I wanted to do with my life, which was music. It actually supported me. New Life College feels less like a school, more like a family to me. So yeah, that's one of the main things I love about the school.
Hey guys, I'm here to share 2 fantastic things about NLC College. So one is the community that you get when you go to NLC College, and then how caring the professors are about you and your grade.
Hey, what up everybody? I wanted to let you know a little bit about NLC College, the school I go to. I'm gonna tag them here so you can go to their page. But one, if you're even thinking about going there, please sign up for housing. It's such an amazing experience. And two, the community there is like none other. They're all...
Things I like about NLC College is Tyler Tarver, he's the best. And number 2 is that it's affordable. So, cause you know, I'm gonna be broke. And, or I am broke. But that don't make me too broke, you feel me?
Okay, hey guys, I go to NLC College, and the number 1 favorite thing I love about that school is the community. I made friends there that I'll have for life. I'm zooming in. Why?
Whew, man. You've heard a lot of my voice today, and I apologize for that, but I don't apologize for all the resources that you're getting out of this. So make sure you're putting them somewhere where you can find them and remember to use them. Okay, so this next one, this is a pretty cool one. This is a student-reported discipline form. I'm going to give you the resource, and then you can adjust it to however you feel comfortable for your class. The idea for this is that the students fill it out, not you. Do not do the work for them. They're the ones that acted up in your class. Make them do the extra work, and then you check it before they hit submit. I'm gonna talk through it. I'm gonna show you the resource. Create this with me. Here we go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How's it going? I hope you're having a lovely day. Are you having a good day? In the chat, tell me on a scale of 1 to 100, grade your day thus far, okay? And if you're like, well, this is a PD, it's a training, guess what? You're probably getting paid for this training, so keep that in mind. You didn't have to prepare for this lesson. You just showed up and get resources. So I have showed you in the previous training, I showed you the Google form for discipline, which your building should be using, and even if your building doesn't, because sometimes we as educators don't get to choose the discipline we do for our building or our school, but for your classroom, at the very least, you have that Google form for discipline. That's kind of like a catch-all. This one right here, this is something, I don't have the example with me. I don't. Okay. This is something that I did in my classroom. Granted, I haven't been in the, as a high school math teacher in about a decade because I've been in administration, but I have been in a college classroom. So don't judge me. I mean, you can judge me if you want, but one of the things that I did with regards to discipline that I feel like had a huge, I say impact. I always had a good rapport with my students. I think that there's a lot of layers to classroom discipline, but I think one of the things that helped me with regards to managing the discipline in the class, but also documentation to where it doesn't cause me to sit at my desk my whole prep period and write up discipline issues. And that is that I had student reported discipline forms. And so what did that look like? How did I handle discipline in my class? So if a student acted up, they would get a warning. I didn't call them out. I didn't say their name, but I said, hey, be quiet. I didn't do any of that. I would just write their initials on the board while I was teaching, and I'd keep teaching. If they were, kind of half paying attention, they would notice. If they were not paying attention at all, a lot of times the other students would correct them, okay? Which if your school uses tests, the Charlotte Danielson model, that's actually a 4 to where students correct each other. It's kind of like leading them to the 4, but it's a 4, which is really good. Now, those students would correct the students acting up, say, hey, your initials on the board, be quiet. And the best was whenever 2 students had the same initials, so you don't know which one it is. A little bit of mystery. Magic. What's that from? In the chat, what is that from? Magic. Okay. So that was my warning. And then if they acted up again, what I would do is I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't, I wouldn't stop class. I wouldn't disrupt what I was trying to do to teach the other students. I would walk over while I was still teaching, and I had this desk where I had a no homework form. I had a student discipline form. I had another one. What was the other form? I don't remember. But then I had a student self-reported discipline form. And so what I would do is I'd go over there and I would grab that form as a salmon colored piece of paper, and I would walk over and I would set it on the student's desk, and then I would keep teaching. Didn't address it. They knew what they were doing wrong. Granted, I was teaching high school. A lot of younger students, you might need to walk through that with them, but they knew what they were doing wrong. And so it is, they got a warning. They kept talking in the same class. So then they would get that other piece of paper. And it was pretty simple. They didn't have to go to detention. They didn't have to go. I didn't tell the principal. I didn't call their parents. What it was said they would write in their name, the class period, like time of the disruption. So just kind of labeled at the top. And then they had 3 questions. The first question was, what did you do to cause you to have to get this form? So they have to recognize, what did I do that was incorrect that made me have to fill this out? Second question was, what should you have been doing? So what could you have done instead of this to not get this? So what should you have been doing? And the third thing is, what are you going to do to prevent this from happening in the future? And then they sign it and date it. And then I would sign it and date it. Now, since then, Google Forms has been created. And Google Forms is incredible. And you can do the same thing with Google Forms and have the students fill out their own discipline reports. Now, I've posted this I've talked about this on TikTok, and some of the teachers are like, yeah, they wouldn't fill it out. Well, they don't get to leave your class until you go up there and look over it. They don't hit submit until you look over it. Okay, so you walk over, and that's a procedure you have to build in there. If they submit it too soon, then you're gonna have to say, nope, you got to do it again. Like, you've got to make them walk out the door and walk back in correctly. So you're making them do the correct procedures. And once they get in the habit of that, they all know it's pretty simple. You fill it out. I read over it. We correct anything I feel like you were trying to skirt around what you did, or you weren't, being super specific, short for specific, with what you should have been doing. And I need you to correct it. And then when you hit submit, we're good to go. Okay. So what I'm going to do today in this segment is I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm sorry, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to give you that resource and then show you where to put that in your Google Classroom so that students can go and fill it out whenever they need to. Okay. Now you can modify this, in Google Forms. You can modify it to make it look the way you want. Okay. So let's make my face smaller and make the screen bigger. All right. Much better. Okay. So what you're going to do is we're going to go to the link on the screen. It's tarveracademy.com/resources. It's where I keep most of my resources. All the free resources are on this page. Never clear your throat in the mic. Sorry about that. You know what ASMR is? I don't know what it stands for. I hope it's not inappropriate. I don't think it's inappropriate. It's just like where you make noises, like people eat stuff in the microphone and stuff like that. So, okay. So we're going to scroll down to under resource or template, and we're going to go to not classroom discipline form. That's the one we did in the beginner training. If you missed that will be playing again, or you can go to tarveracademy.com/honor-roll. And you can get that at any time. That training, the walkthrough, all of it. That walkthrough is going to link, I think, to the honor roll. But the form's free for anybody to use. But you should join the honor roll. Everybody's doing it, except for the people that aren't. And they're missing out. That's on them. Okay, we want to go to student reported discipline. So I'm going to click on student reported discipline. And then you're going to make a copy. Remember, this is now your copy. I will not have access to it. We start from the same form, and then when we hit make a copy, we all have our own copy. Oh, this is an old school one with my old header. Wow, so gorgeous. You can take that header off if you want. If you've used my resources before, I think I've explained this, but you can go up here if you don't like Tarver Academy header. Okay, where's my mouse? There you are, little buddy. So we can go up here to the paint. And then we can hit this X and it'll get rid of Tarver Academy, which hurts my feelings, but it's whatever. I would go up here and I would change this title instead of student reported discipline. I mean, I'd put, actually I would probably just put at the back, Mr. Tarver's class, whatever your class name is right there. Now, keep in mind, you can go ahead and sort this form directly from here. So my folder up here at the upper right, you see that? I can go ahead and click that. And I can sort this into whatever folder I want. So I can create a folder. I can call it discipline, hit enter. And I wouldn't do one for each class. I would do it just for this class. So I'm going to move here. Okay. Then you're going to go student reported discipline. And then you're going to have to say, you can put I would put my procedures here. Hopefully you've sat through my training where I show you how to do the instructions in the actual header. So that would be a cool place to go create a custom header in Canva, and then you can put it in here. But if not, we can do the instructions. We can put instructions 1, fill this out accurately. Do not submit yet. When finished, and I'm not teaching / talking to someone, raise your hand for me to come over and read. 3, I will tell you that you can submit. You can, your gonna go submit. I will tell you that you can submit. You're able to continue working or leave class. Hopefully you're filling yours out right now. You're not just like staring at me do this. You're able to continue working. Or, here's how you spell or, leave when class is over. Okay? All right. We will need to make sure, guys, make sure you have this gear on, and then make sure you have it to where they have response receipts so they can get this. So as soon as they hit submit, they'll receive a copy of this. You don't have to do autocraft for it. They'll receive it so they have proof of what they did. You don't want to limit to one response. We don't want them to edit after they submit. We don't want them to see summary charts. We want it to where it collects their emails. I think that'll be default for you. Presentation, we don't want to show another link. Please don't do that again. And hit save. Also, no, I'd put, also, please let me know if I need to explain this discipline issue with you. I want you to understand, because I want you and myself to get better. You can say that if you want. It's up to you. Hit save. Okay. So I think it's really good if you can get a list. Like if you have a spreadsheet, if you've used my form for what's up, first day of school, you can go in and you can copy paste that column of your students' names, and you can paste them in here as like a drop down. I would recommend that. And you're like, well, they could pick another kid's name. It's automatically collecting their email address. So whatever they're logged into, it's going to show that email. So if they try to lie and say there's someone else, that's not okay. Plus you're going to look over it. So I would say their name, class period, you can delete it if you're not teaching any of those class periods. What did you do to require you have to fill this out? And I made this a required question. What should you have been doing? And then what are you going to do to prevent this from happening in the future? Okay. I think it's pretty solid. Okay. If you want to change any of that, you can. I can exit this out. You can change any of that you would like. And I think we're good. Okay. So I'm going to show you where I would put this within your classrooms. Okay. So we're going to go to send, and I'm going to click right here on this little link. I'm going to shorten it because here's my question. Why don't they just automatically give you the shortened one? Why do they go and default to a longer version? Like, who's going to be like, man, I really wish this link was longer. Nobody's going to say that. So I'm going to hit copy, or you can just hit copy right there. I hit Command C. Now we're going to go to Google Classroom. I'm going to go in here. I want to go to classwork. If you need a second, classroom.google.com. We're going to go to classwork. Look, I've already got it started. Discipline. Okay. Hit create. And then I do not make it an assignment. Make it a material. Y'all see that? Hit that. And then fill this out if you got in trouble. If you disrupted. I don't know. Would you say that? Or I could just say student discipline. Or fill this out. I like to put the instructions in multiple places. If you don't agree with this, that's fine. You're probably wrong. Put it in as many places you want. You're like, well, they should just read everything. You know you don't read everything. So fill it out. Put the instructions wherever you can. I'm going to say do not submit until I read over it. Fill it out in complete sentences. I forgot to say that last time. Okay. Now we need to attach that. I can make this bold. I'm going to make do not bold and italic or underline. There we go. Okay. Hit add. And I'm going to add it directly from my Google Drive. It should show me recent unless I filled it out with the wrong account, which I've done before, as you guys know. There it is. Nope, that's not it. Let's try this one, Mr. Tarver. What's that? Yeesh. Okay. Yep, what do you know? I don't know why I'm logging out. Nope, don't want to sign out of all of them. I want to sign in there. Sorry. I don't know why it's been doing this lately. It's been switching me from the account. I got to look around my camera. I'm not just like ducking you guys. So abs. A world. Why does it keep switching? Get it right. Okay. Okay, so let's go in and make sure that's added to my drive. Okay, let's see if we can find it again. Okay, one more time. One more time. Scale 1 to 10. How good's my singing? Answer, 10. That's not true. Okay. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Insert. Student reported this one, Mr. Tarver's class. Bingo. Now you're thinking like, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes you're thinking like, oh no, that means that they can go in and edit it. They cannot. They cannot. You're going to hit topic. You're going to go to discipline. This is where they'll go. So if a student acts up, I'm going to hit post. If a student acts up in your class, you're going to go in, you're going to say, hey, fill out the discipline report. They know from your procedures that they're going to go into classroom. They're going to click on this. I'll show you what it looks like for a student. Hermione, I mean, honestly, she's the real hero of the entire series. Let's be real. Who's your favorite? Just kidding. Everybody knows it's Hermione. She's the best. Okay. They would go to classwork. They would go to discipline. They would click on this. They would fill it out. And they would fill in all their information. Okay. They would go in, hit submit, bam. And now they would wait, obviously, till you got there and checked over it. And then it would go into a form. Then what you can do, anytime you have a parent-teacher conference, or if you have a student that acts up frequently that you need to contact the parents, or if a student acts up to the point continuously where you have to report to the principal, administrators want to see like the breadth of what they've done over the past few weeks or months. Send that to them. Anytime you need an update to your administrator or the parent or the student. Students can get their own printouts. I used to give my students theirs at the end of the year if they wanted. But what this does is when you're meeting with parents at parent-teacher conference, or if you need to explain something, not only are you showing them discipline issues that their child did, whenever they're like, why ain't my little baby got an A? My little baby's an A+ student. Why aren't they doing well? And you say, well, here is their discipline. This is what they did in class instead of learning, instead of paying attention. And they look at it and they look at the spreadsheet or they look at all these reports and they say, well, but that's the thing. Like, how do I know you're not lying about all this stuff? And then you can say, well, actually, your child is the one that filled it out. They filled it out. They told about the situation. They told us what they did incorrectly. And I checked over it and they hit submit. I did not change any of this. It's all based on what they said. So I think this is a huge game changer when it comes to reporting discipline to parents, but also just, holding students accountable for how they're acting and how they should be acting. So hope this helps. If you want it, you can get the copy, tarveracademy.com/resources. So thank you guys. Be good. Okay. So this is our last session. This is the shortest one, but it's also the last one. So we're going to end strong. Okay. So this is actually a Google add-on. It is an add-on for Google Sheets, but you use it with Google Forms. So you can put stuff into Google Forms and it fills into a Google Sheet. This is a really cool result from that. The add-on is called Autocrat. And this is a very short, like 7 or 8 minute, like This is our last one. Remember, stay with me. Let's hit the sprint. Let's hit the tape strong. This is the last section. It's like 7 or 8 minutes. I'm doing a 3-hour autocrat training. So if you like this and you're like, you know what? I like it, but I need to know more. I need to see it. I'm going to walk through templates. I'm going to actually do like a full walkthrough. It's 3 hours worth of training on this one add-on. So there's much more. It's a much more robust program than you're going to see in this one little part of the training. But you can get access to it. If you want, go to my website, tarveracademy.com. I've got the link to when I'm going to do that training if you want to join us. And I'm doing it 3 times this summer if you're in the honor roll. tarveracademy.com/honor roll, or if you signed up for premium PD or your district or your co-op did, then you're good to go. So just tune into that if you think this adds you value. It's time to learn a little bit about Autocrat, and then after that, you get your certificate. Let's do this. Here we go. Autocrat is essentially an automated email system that you can create emails based on what people put into a Google form. So there are multiple ones to use. I've used this one. We'll show you how to use it. Here we go. Okay, so the first thing you do if you want to build this is build whatever you want to automatically be emailed to someone else. You can make it output as a PDF or editable Google Doc or a couple other things. So whenever you're picking it, look through. The key thing on this is whenever you want something to autofill from the form, make sure you put it between those little arrows, the greater than and less than signs. And so I always put what I want to go in there inside those 2 sets so that I know exactly where that's going to go when I'm inputting into Autocrat. You're going to see here in a second. So the next thing you do is you create a Google form. So I created this one. It's a skip notifier. If kids skip a class period, I want it to email them, letting them know they have detention. So there's the form. You create it, put all the information you want in it. Next, you're going to go to your spreadsheet that creates out of the Google form. And so once you're in there, go to add-ons. If you don't have Autocrat, go into the Google store and find it. Then we're going to open it. So once you're in Autocrat, it's fairly intuitive. The steps you go through, I believe there's 7 or 8 steps. And so we're going to kind of walk through a couple of those through one I've already created. And then you can go through and create one that adapts to what you want. Now, nothing can autofill unless you put those greater than and less than signs. If you can't tell, I'm stalling. Okay. So I'm going to go and edit and show you what this one looks like. You're going to want to create a new one in the lower right where it says new. Okay, so the first thing is you want to name it. This part really doesn't matter. You're just saying it so you can find it later. Next thing you're going to do is you got to find that template. All right, I've got my template already attached to the skip notification form, this little guy. All right, so pull that in, choose from your drive, and go find that template. Next, I want to map the source data to the template in whatever I want to autofill from the questions in the form. So, for instance, right here, I want under first name, I want student first name to populate. Under last name, I want the student last name to populate. And then you just roll through. As long as you label these right here correctly, then it's going to be a lot easier for you in the long run. When I first started, I did numbers. Terrible idea. Because the tutorial I said, said to do that. Don't do that. All right, so whenever you're in there, go to File Settings. You can even have it auto-populate in the file and email names. So all you do is put them inside your greater than and less than brackets. And so whenever you're over here, you can select it, and that'll automatically copy it, and then you can just paste it in there. Okay, I don't want to. I want it to be student's first name, last name, and then it says morning detention notifications. The students know it's important from the file. I can choose what I want it to export as. I go with PDF so they can't change it and say, well, my doc says this. Well, no, it doesn't. It's a PDF. Next, I choose the destination folder. That's going to pick the folder that they're going to all drop into so I can go back and look for them later. That's in my own drive. Dynamic folder reference, I don't use this because I don't know how. If I did, I would show you. I've tried to use it a few times. It's a little more advanced feature. And so let's set the merge option. I don't want any conditions. I want it to automatically send as soon as someone submits a form. Okay, so when it sends it, this is the part where I choose what's going to look like whenever someone shares it. So I'm going to go in there. I'm going to select Share Doc. Yepers. I want it to go out as a PDF. Allow them to reshare. No. So send from generic, no reply. If you do that, that means that it doesn't come from your email. That way you don't get replies from kids or whoever you're sending it to. It'll just go from no reply at your organization or at whatever. So it'll no reply you. All right. Here I pick where I want it to go, who I want it to go to, and I want it to go to the student's email address. You can also CC the teacher's name if you want to, or whoever submitted the form. All right, and so we go in, I listed all the information I want to be sent, and it goes through. I want it to run on the form trigger. That means as soon as they submit the form, I want it to run. So save, and that's it. Now, let's see what it looks like whenever they submit. I've already filled out the information for a student. I hit submit, skip notifier. Your response has been recorded. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you to say. My thanks for the update. Forget that. I have to cut that part out. Okay. Now, in my email, I have to wait for that. Tyler, you're gonna have to cut this. Sorry, bro. Okay, so it's gone into my email from no reply. Important, Draco Malfoy. That's the student's name I put in there. He's always getting in trouble. Morning detention notification. I click on it. It is auto-filled. You have received morning detention for missing an MLT or essay, mandatory learning time. Refer to attached PDF and where to go and when, etc. I click on the PDF. It is from my template. It has created this. It has filled in the name. It has filled in the time I missed, the date. Everything that I want to go in there is automatically filled. AutoCAD is incredible for bypassing what used to humans had to input and put in. It goes automatically from these forms. And so it's a great way to expedite your process, save you time to where you can focus on students, learning, or whatever else you're doing with your time. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hope it helps. We did it. We did it. We learned something. Did you learn something today? In the chat, I want you to put the thing that you are taking away from today. Put one thing in the chat right now that you have learned or that you have realized or that's reinforced something you think. Put that one that I like to call this the golden nugget. Put the golden nugget from today in the chat. And that way, if somebody's missed it or they checked in, go ahead and you guys can copy paste what other people put. If there's some advice, you can screenshot it. Get this. I want you to throw in the best thing you learned today. It's like a best of highlight reel for your favorite thing that happened during this training. Toss that in the chat right now so we can share and grow together. Okay, we're about to do the evaluation. Before we do, I want to remind you, if you want access to this entire training at any time throughout the year, not just these live broadcasts, you can join the Tarver Academy Honor Roll. Why'd I do this? Hey guys, Tarver Academy Honor Roll. It's like Netflix for teachers. Netflix for teachers, because you have resources, you have templates, you have PDs, trainings. It's literally like a library of trainings, and then access to ask questions, to request resources that I build and send out to teachers all around the world. So tarveracademy.com/honor roll if you want to join the greatest community on the planet. And I'm not biased at all. I mean, all of us, you're on the honor roll. You want to be on the honor roll? Sick. Let's all be on the honor roll. And I'm a dean, so you can be on the dean's list. Hey, that works. Okay. All right. Now it's time for your evaluation. I'd love to get your thoughts on what you thought for this, but also I'm going to send you a certificate saying that you sat through this training. You put in the time. You wanted to learn. You wanted to grow. You wanted to get better. This is going to be a certificate that I'm going to email to you. What I need you to do is I need you to go to the link on the screen or hover over the QR code with your phone. Get your phone out, hover over it. It's going to ask you a few questions. If you don't get this, it means that you put your email address in wrong. Make sure, please do not rush this. Type your email address in correctly. Please, I'm begging you, because if not, you're gonna email me, I never got my certificate. It's because your email address is wrong. Type it in, type in your email address correctly, fill it out, fill out your name, make sure you capitalize, make it look good, because it's gonna fill into the certificate from this. So I need you to put this in correctly, please. Okay, go there, we're gonna walk you through it. Go into this, click on the link, or you can't click on the link because it's on a video. Type in the link on your computer or type it in on your phone or whatever device you have. Scan the QR code, fill it out. I'm gonna send you a certificate with a timestamp on it saying what time you ended. You have proof from earlier if you sent in to the other link of what time you started. And then you also got your notes and all the stuff you've learned, your screenshots, all of that to show your administrator or whoever, your spouse, you show your friends, show people on the streets, all the learning that you did. You can frame that certificate. I think we're all getting framed. You get a frame, I'm getting framed. I'm gonna put it up on my shelf. I got too much stuff on my shelf already. So look at this, Lonzo Ball rookie card. If you got any, by the way, you got any basketball cards you wanna sell, hit me up. I've been slightly obsessed with basketball cards, and I apologize for bringing it up. Look at this, this is all Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, he's the GOAT. Everybody says it. Who's in the chat? Who is your favorite basketball player of all time? I'd love to know. If it's Lonzo Ball, it's quite the coincidence because I had it sitting on my desk. If not, it's probably this guy. Probably this guy right here. See that guy? That's Michael Jordan. No big deal. It's whatever. Don't like to brag about it. I mean, it's not that expensive, that card. But if you got any cards you want to sell, holler at me. I don't know why I said that. I'm just stalling so you guys can fill out your evaluation. All right. Y'all feel good? I'm gonna leave this on the screen for you for a little while in case you had to step out for a second. I'm gonna leave this up. Thank you again so much for your attention and your time and everything that you put into learning and growing with us today. I'm Tyler. This is Tarver Academy. Let's learn to have fun. See you guys later.